From Kokomo Municipal Stadium in Kokomo, Indiana, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today, the Rivets look to break a 3-game losing streak against the first place Kokomo Jackrabbits. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining me alongside Ethan Blake. It's Larry Larson in with you. And Ethan, as we mentioned just moments ago, the Rivets have lost 3 straight games. Their second half record is now 7-12, 6 games behind these Jackrabbits in the Great Lakes East. They need to right the ship very soon.
Yeah, I agree. Got to get on this soon. I mean, 3 losses here, definitely not the road trip the Rivets imagined. They were set up pretty well. I mean, they got back to the 500 mark for the second half and have kind of spiraled since then. It'll be really important to pick up a win here and at least stay somewhat relevant in the playoff picture.
It's really almost a must-win game, as close to a must-win game as you could get. Just 17 games remain in the regular season, and Kokomo is going to prove to be a tough opponent. They're 10 games over 500 on the season, while the Rivets are 10 games under 500 on the year. And like we said, things need to change quick. The Rivets in 4th place in the Great Lakes East. And the main struggle has been the offense for Rockford rather than the pitching, which has kind of been the struggle all year.
Yeah, almost every Rockford hitter seems to be in a slump right now. A lot of guys that just either aren't getting the ball to fall in or just aren't hitting it hard. It's gonna be big over the next few days to try to get those bats heated up. Hopefully the off day can help with that, but the 9 guys playing tonight will have to get hot a little sooner.
Off day tonight for one of the Rivets' big bats, Daniel Cantu. He's not in the lineup. The Rivets will have a whole entire team day off tomorrow, but because it was his off day, I had a chance to catch up with Daniel Cantu for tonight's pregame show. So here's our pregame interview with the redshirt freshman from South Florida, Daniel Cantu. We're here on the Rockford Rivets pregame show with outfielder and first baseman Daniel Cantu. Daniel, thanks for taking the time today.
For sure, man.
I want to start with your spring season at South Florida. You guys had quite the spring, picked to finish last in the American Conference, came all the way and went to the Super Regionals in the NCAA College World Series. What was so special about that team?
We were just a family. We loved playing every day and just playing for each other, playing for the next guy. We just loved coming out each and every day, grinding for their brother next to us. So, yeah, I thought it was a really good, productive season.
What was kind of your reaction when you guys were picked last?
We obviously didn't like it, but we knew we were going to prove everyone wrong, and we did exactly that. But the very first practice that we had at USF, our coach put up the standings. The coaches, they picked, and we were picked last, and they put it up on the scoreboard to remind us and to show us how disrespected we are in the conference, and we took that to heart, and we definitely proved everyone wrong.
I would certainly say so. I want to jump back to the Super Regional when you hit your home run against Texas. Take me through that at-bat. Were you trying to hit a home run, or what was your approach in that at-bat in that moment?
Nah, I was not trying to hit a home run. I was just trying to get on base and start something, and that happened. They brought in one of their key closers, and I knew he was going to give me a good fastball. And I saw one, fouled one off, and he gave me another one exactly where I like it, and something good happened. So that's about it.
I'd say that's a pretty good result. I want to talk about your batting stance. It's pretty unique. You're kind of hunched over from the left side, moving the bat back and forth. Where exactly did you get that from? Do you take any inspiration from any particular player?
Not any particular player, but my coach. We were just in the fall, my hitting coach at USF. In the fall, we were just messing around with my swing. I just couldn't really find anything, couldn't get anything going. So we were just experimenting with a bunch of different stuff. And he told me I had dead hand syndrome. So he was like, loud with the bat or get some rhythm in there. And that's just what I did. And I started hitting really good, and so it stuck.
I'd say it's worked out pretty well. And then here in the summer, with the Rivets, it's a little bit of a different grind than the college season. You're playing every day rather than just on the weekends. How have you dealt with that, whether that's working through slumps or just working through the general soreness that baseball brings every day?
Definitely am staying in the weight room, keeping my body healthy, stretching, just getting blood to certain areas that I need it. I'd say stretching, sleep, and making sure you're on top of your lifting, and eating. I'd say eating somewhat good.
Trying to in the Northwoods League. You've built an interesting relationship with Phil Matulia, a little thunder and lightning. How'd that come to be?
I don't know. We just we click. Me and him in the lineup. We're the spark of this team, and that's just how it is. Our connection, our relationship, thunder and lightning.
Phil, you got anything to say to that? How'd you come up with that thunder and lightning?
Just back-to-back doubles here and there. Really helping this program out, and just hitting balls hard around the park. That's what we do. We just swing hard, hit balls hard.
Simple enough. I want to ask you a few rapid-fire questions about your Rivets teammates and your experience this summer. Speaking on the food, who has had the worst pre- or post-game meal?
Kokomo. They have the worst pre-game meal. I'm trying to think who has the worst post-game. I think the Rivets have the worst post-game meal.
Oh, man. Based on what I've seen, not out of the realm of possibility, how about the best meal?
The best? I've never been to Lakeshore, so I wouldn't know. Who had good meals? Kenosha. Oh, yeah, Kenosha has really good meals.
It's that mac and cheese.
They have fire meals.
All right, fair enough. All right, how about the best ballpark you've played in here in the woods?
Like fan atmosphere-wise, or like just overall?
Any criteria.
Traverse City was really cool. I feel like they have the best overall, but like best ballpark. Yeah, Traverse City, you can't really beat that. Like turf and the stadium's nice, but I like playing at like a Kenosha or Kalamazoo because there's fans like all around you, like at all times. So I like that spotlight with the fans like right on top of you.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes it a little more interesting. How about the worst stadium or field?
Kalamazoo has the worst field that I've played on. Yes, they do. I have not been here the whole summer, so I can't. Some of these guys have played on worse, but their grass in the outfield is like a cow pasture, and you can barely see your cleats standing in the outfield. And their infield is atrocious. It's like concrete mixed with a little pebbles on top. That's about it.
Fair assessment, I suppose. Who's your funniest Rivets teammate?
Funniest? He's not here anymore, but it was Greg Ziegler.
I heard that answer a lot. How about this one? If the Rivets were to have a Hunger Games, who would be the first to die and who would win?
First to die? Donahue would be the first to die. And the first to win? Definitely me.
I think Host Way picked you to win yesterday.
I mean, how can he not pick me? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Who would I pick besides myself? Phil, because he's a Grizzly man. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he's Thor.
Yeah, he's Thor.
Fair enough. All right. One last question. Can I expect the USF Bulls to get picked last in the coaches poll again?
No, you will not. Actually, yeah, no, you won't. You won't. Yeah, not last.
All right. I'll be tuned into the American Conference this spring. Daniel Cantu, thanks for the time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man.
Welcome back to Kokomo. That was our pregame chat with Daniel Cantu, the redshirt freshman from South Florida. Always good to chat with Daniel. It's one of his last few games here with the squad. He's got the night off tonight. First pitch coming up shortly between the Rivets and first place Kokomo Jackrabbits. Tonight's pitching matchup, Jared Herzog is back into the starting rotation. The left-hander from Rockford University has an ERA of 5.45. He'll be opposed by Ryan Robinson, a right-hander from the University of San Diego.
Yeah, so starting off with Herzog, a guy that's had a lot of ups and downs this year. 33 innings, like you said, back in the starting rotation, made a couple relief appearances, but called on by JT Scara for tonight's game. He's had 33 innings on the year, a 5.45 ERA, kind of not as indicative of his season as it could be. He's had a lot of solid starts, earned his way back into the rotation with 6 innings against Kenosha out of the pen, only giving up 3 runs, but that came with 5 scoreless frames. We'll see what he can build off of that tonight.
Robinson, a bullpen arm previously with a solid ERA of 1.27. We'll see what he brings in the starting rotation for Kokomo tonight. We're going to step aside for a brief break, and we'll come back with baseball and the starting lineups on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. We're moments away from baseball in Kokomo, Indiana. The Rivets looking to snap a 3-game losing streak against the first place Kokomo Jackrabbits. Let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. First for the visiting Rockford Rivets, managed by JT Scara. Kevin Bushnell, the junior from Benedictine College, in the top spot for the first time in a very long time in his baseball career. Phil Matulia, the junior from Louisiana Tech, bats second and plays center field. Shamar Page, the junior from Louisiana Tech, as well as the DH. Drew Stengren bats cleanup for the first time since high school. He'll do the catching. Wade Elliott to follow, playing third base. Jake Donahue in his final game with the team will play right field and bat sixth. Johannes Hawkinson is out in left field. Josue Urdaneta bats eighth and will play shortstop, and Brandon Bannon, the sophomore from Illinois Springfield, rounds it out at second base. Those are the Rivets. These are the Jackrabbits. Jacob Marcy, the redshirt freshman from Central Michigan, is out in right field, leading things off. Gavin Grant, the sophomore from Oregon, will play second base and bat second. Chase Mydroth, the all-star, is at third base, batting third. TJ Fontaine is the DH. Martin Vincelli Samard bats fifth and plays first base. Camden Vasquez homered yesterday for the first time this season. He'll bat sixth and play center. Ben Lavorsi will do the catching. Ryan Ellis is going to be out in left field, batting eighth. And Adam Crampton, the shortstop from Stanford, will bat ninth. That's the lineup and defense behind the right-hander, Ryan Robinson.
We're seeing a very interesting look on the lineup from the Rockford side. Pretty standard arrangement for Kokomo. JT Scara going back to the on-base percentage lineup, where he picks his 9 players slated to play for the day and lines them up 1 through 9 in terms of on-base percentage, which would explain why the big man, Kevin Bushnell, in the leadoff spot.
And I know you talked to Kevin about his leadoff experience before the game. What did he have to say?
He was pretty short about it, said, "I don't think I've ever done this in my life."
Well, that's about to change. Kevin Bushnell, a right-handed batter, approaches the right-handed batter's box. He was 0 for 2 yesterday. His on-base percentage, the best in the lineup tonight at 471 in a small sample size. Ryan Robinson, usually a bullpen guy, now a starter, working from the stretch. He comes set and delivers the first pitch. Misses down and away, and we're underway at 6:36 in the Eastern Time Zone.
And I'm sure the Rivets are hoping to see a Kyle Schwarber type performance from Kevin Bushnell, a guy pretty new to the leadoff spot himself.
1-0, fastball catches the outside corner, tailing away from Bushnell. It's 1-1. Schwarber has had a lot of success, especially in terms of belting home runs from the top spot. Here's the kick and the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball rolled down to third base, gobbled up by Chase Mydroth. He gathers himself, takes his time, and makes the play to first base for out number 1. Bushnell hit that one hard, but just to the wrong spot. Scoreless ball game between Rockford and Kokomo. Top of the first, here's Phil Matulia. The junior from Louisiana Tech was 1 for 4 last night.
And we'll see how the knee of Philip Matulia holds up in this game. Took a foul ball off the side of the knee 2 games ago. Actually, 3 games ago. My bad. Had a DH game yesterday. Back in the field today.
He watches a first pitch breaking ball missed downstairs. It's 1-0. Matulia looked pretty good yesterday. He legged out a triple in the 9th inning for his only hit and then would score the Rivets' only run. They're only 1 in their last 2 games. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball that dropped out of the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Matulia leads the league with 6 triples. He leads this Rivet squad with 6 home runs. Robinson deals the 1-1. Drops a curveball in there, sweeping from near the right-handed batter's box, right out over the heart of the plate. Matulia watches it for a called strike 2. Kokomo in their home cream uniforms with brown socks, brown caps, and orange numbers. Here's the 1-2 offering. Rolled over down to first base. Martin Vincelli Samard gloves it and hustles to the first base bag for the force out. That's out number 2 in the top of the first.
Matulia with a hard run down to first there. Seems to be fine in the speed department.
That's a good sign, but the Rivets offense off to a slow start. Granted, still pretty early, but this offense has been sluggish as of late. Shamar Page, second consecutive lefty in the order, climbs in the box. Here's the first pitch. Misses down and outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
And Shamar's a guy that hasn't batted in the Rivets order in almost 2 weeks now. Was getting fairly frequent time as the designated hitter during the early parts of July, but back in the lineup today.
Settles into an open batting stance, and the 1-0 is swung on and missed. 1-1. You are correct. The last time that Page got in the game as a hitter was July 15th against Kalamazoo. Batting .250 this summer. Robinson pauses and delivers the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and tapped foul up the third base line, 1-2.
And I know one personal goal of Shamar Page before the end of the season is to hit a home run. A guy that's pretty big, puts him out in batting practice all the time, has yet to really connect with one in a game for the Rivets.
Against Kalamazoo, in one game, he hit 2 pretty hard fly balls out to right field, but the wind knocked them both down. Here's the 1-2 from Robinson. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball that dropped out of the zone, and the Rivets are set down in order in the top of the first. Ryan Robinson looks pretty darn good in his first start so far, and after a half, it's Rivets nothing and Jackrabbits coming up on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the first inning in Kokomo, final game of a 4-game road trip for the Rockford Rivets, and they've yet to win a game on this trip, dropping 2 against Traverse City and 1 here against Kokomo last night. We're scoreless after a half, and Jared Herzog has just wrapped up his warm-up tosses as the starting pitcher for the Screws.
Herzog, a guy very determined to do well here, wants to solidify a spot in the rotation for the rest of the year. Someone who's been here since opening week, started the home opener at Rivets Stadium, wants to finish out in the same spot, picking up a lot of innings before he heads back to Rockford University.
Herzog's last start came on June 23rd against the Kalamazoo Growlers, then got switched out of the starting rotation. Lefty on lefty to start us off as Jacob Marcy climbs in the box. Here's the first pitch from Herzog. Paints the outside corner with a fastball. Hits 0-1. Jacob Marcy has been nothing short of fantastic as a leadoff hitter. He's got a 20-game on-base streak and a 6-game hit streak. The kick in the 0-1. Breaking ball misses low. Marcy thought about it but laid off. It's 1-1.
Marcy, a guy that brings that perfect balance of speed and power to the leadoff spot. Isn't just a guy that's going to beat out infield singles, can really hit you with some extra base hits early too.
And he gets hit with a pitch here, a breaking ball that touches him up on the shoulder out of the hand of Herzog, and so the leadoff man is aboard, and that on-base streak is extended to 21 games for the redshirt freshman from Central Michigan. So here's Gavin Grant, the sophomore from Oregon. He had a big day yesterday, 2 for 5 with an RBI. Rivets and Jackrabbits scoreless in the bottom of the first. Herzog working from the stretch, sets the letters and comes home. Grant squares to bunt, pulls back and watches ball 1 high and outside. You mentioned it at the start of this inning. Herzog, a very determined young man. Working from the right side of the rubber, comes home with the 1-0 and pours a fastball in there on the inside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, very disciplined too. Like a lot of these guys on this Rivets team, has a very particular way he warms up and sticks to it every day.
Here's the 1-1, swung on and dropped into right field for a base hit. Jake Donahue leaps to gather it and chucks it back into the infield to keep Jacob Marcy at second base. Back-to-back base runners reach against Herzog to start the bottom of the first.
Marcy pretty familiar with the arm of Jake Donahue, teammates at Central Michigan. Knew it was a good idea not to try and stretch that there, as he almost definitely would have been hosed. That throw was right on target to the cutoff man, Josue Urdaneta.
We'll see if Herzog can get the first out of the inning from Chase Mydroth, the sophomore from the University of San Diego. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, and the first pitch is a line drive right up the middle into center field. Phil Matulia gathers it. The runner stops at third. Marcy holds up. Gavin Grant moves to second base, and now the bases are loaded with no outs in the bottom of the first. A discouraging start for Herzog. And now Doug Coe is going to come out of that first base dugout almost immediately to signal a mound meeting. Rivets and Rabbits scoreless here in the bottom of the first, but that could change quick if Herzog doesn't settle down. The freshman from Rockford University had a stellar two-way season for the Regents. Was the everyday DH, as well as showcasing stellar pitching prowess, an ERA right around 3.6. So he's a guy who's capable, but needs to settle down here in this first inning.
Yeah, and despite the local connection, it can be really hard for a pitcher out of Rockford University, a D3 school, to get an invite to this league, the Northwoods League, almost exclusively populated with D1 and top-level JUCO players, but there are a number of good D3 arms in here too, and Jared Herzog, a guy that earned his way here, especially as a true freshman.
trying to earn his way back into the starting rotation, getting a start tonight. If it goes well, he could stay here the rest of the season. Bases loaded for TJ Fontaine. First pitch to him. It's in there for a called strike on the lower reaches of the outside corner. It's 0-1. TJ Fontaine, the redshirt freshman from San Diego State, is batting .230 with 17 RBIs. Lefty on lefty matchup here. The kick in the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball on the turf. Skillfully blocked by Drew Stengren, and it's 0-2.
And that breaking ball is going to be really important as we go through the night, especially against these lefties. You and I talked earlier. You thought that it was unusual that Hayden Carter elected to put as many lefties in his lineup as he did, and that breaking ball was very effective against the lefty Fontaine right here.
Here's the 0-2, another breaking ball, high chopper down to first base, foul. Looked like that was going to be enough to get a run in if it stayed fair. It did not. Kevin Bushnell down there at first base, springing after it in foul territory. Still 0-2 on Fontaine. But back to your point about those lefties, 5 of them for Kokomo. Surprising against the southpaw Herzog. He comes set at the letters and delivers another 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with the breaking ball. A foul tip into the glove of Stengren is out number 1.
And that's going to feel great for Jared Herzog, always getting that first out, especially for a guy that has been really effective in innings 2 through 5, 2 through 6 of his appearances. But the first inning, like a lot of pitchers, has been the kryptonite for Jared Herzog.
Rivets have allowed 116 runs in the first 2 innings of games this season. They've yet to surrender one yet, but the bases remain loaded with 1 out. In the bottom of this first frame is Martin Vincelli-Samart. A right-handed hitter climbs in, and the first pitch to him is popped up off to the right side, out of play. Vincelli-Samart was 0 for 2 last night in a 6-1 Kokomo Jackrabbit victory. They lead this season series, which wraps up tonight, 7-4. Herzog deals the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball down the third base line, foul. Vincelli-Samart was out in front of that one. And Herzog is out in front of Vincelli-Samart, 0-2.
Yeah, what I like seeing from Jared Herzog here, he didn't change up his approach after the first 3 batters. He was executing pitches well, with the exception of the breaking ball that hit Marcy. Was hitting his spots. Just, there are a lot of good hitters on this Kokomo side, and they showed it off with 2 base hits.
0-2, swinging a drive, deep left field. Johannes Hawkinson looks up and watches it fly way out of here. It's a grand slam in the bottom of the first inning for Martin Vincelli-Samart, and just like that, it's 4-0 Kokomo. The 5th home run of the summer for the sophomore from Sacramento State starts this game with a bang. Just the 3rd grand slam in Jackrabbits history, as you might be able to hear. So Herzog will look to bounce back against Camden Vasquez, the redshirt freshman from the University of San Diego. Lefty on lefty in the first pitch. Tails way too far outside. 1-0. Well, Ethan, for Jared Herzog, how on earth do you come back from that?
You kind of just have to reset here. I mean, no one on the bases. You just got to start over from scratch and hope your offense can pick you up with the 4 runs.
The 1-0 is popped foul off to the left side, out of play. It's 1-1. That grand slam represents 120 runs allowed by the Rivets in the first 2 innings. Next pitch is flied out into center. Phil Matulia ranges towards left and makes the grab for out number 2. Jackrabbits lead 4-0, bottom of the first. Base is empty, and here's Ben Lavorsi. Lavorsi, the senior from Minnesota State Mankato, batting below the Mendoza line at 194 with 15 RBIs. He's reached safely in 3 of his last 4 games. We'll see if he can reach against Herzog. The kick in the first pitch. Breaking ball tails too far outside, 1-0. I suppose the good news for the Rivets is if you're going to allow 4 runs in the first, it might as well be with a grand slam. Keeps the pitch count down. Herzog just at 18. He delivers the 1-0. Fastball misses high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, that's a good point there. Not something I had thought about, but those pitch count rules in the Northwoods League can really start to mess with your strategy. I mean, they're there for good reason, but definitely something different from the pro-style ball.
Herzog turns and delivers. The 2-0 is lashed past Bushnell and now past the second baseman Brandon Bannon into right field. So it's a 2-out single for Lavorsi. And the long inning continues for Herzog and the Rivets. A runner on with 2 down, 4 runs in. Here's the 8-batter Ryan Ellis. Bannon made a sliding attempt on that one, but could not pick it. Hard hit ball from Lavorsi. Extends the inning for Ellis. First pitch to the left-handed batter. Fastball dots the outside corner. 0-1.
I know we've talked about this a little bit with the move of Ross Thompson from the rotation to the bullpen, but do you think the Rivets would benefit from using Herzog in a starter role, but starting in the second with Ross Thompson serving as an opener?
Breaking ball misses outside. 1-1 to Ellis. At this point in the season, you probably got to try anything, right? Anything that's going to help keep that run total down and then have that starter come in the 3rd inning. I'm not opposed. The kick in the 1-1. Swung on and flied into center field. Phil Matulia backs up on it and makes a 2-handed grab to end a tumultuous first inning for Jared Herzog. The big blow, a grand slam off the bat of Martin Vincelli-Simard. And after 1, the Jackrabbits lead the Rivets 4-0 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Business probably. Headed to the second inning with the Rivets trailing 4-0 on a Martin Vincelli-Simard grand slam in the bottom of the first off of Jared Herzog. Rivets have lost 3 straight, trying to snap it against a tough opponent in these first-place Jackrabbits. 4-5-6 due up to start the second against Ryan Robinson, who set down the Rivets in order in the first. Righty on righty, and the first pitch to Drew Stengren is lined into right center field. Long run for Jacob Marcin. He gets under it to make the catch and to retire his Central Michigan teammate for out number 1.
Good stroke there from Drew Stengren, a guy who is batting higher in the order today than he has all season. JT Scara clearly taking notice of Stengren's ability to draw out long at-bats.
A one-pitch at-bat is enough to get out number one there, and Wade Elliott climbs in. Base is empty for him in the first pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away, 1-0. Elliott was 0 for 3 in last night's Rivets loss. They managed just one run, and it came in the 9th inning. The kick in the 1-0. Breaking ball lashed foul. Off to the right side and out of play. 1-1 count on Elliott. On base percentage of .389. 5th best in this Rivets lineup. Structured around on base percentage. Robinson fires the 1-1. Fastball grounded to the hole at shortstop. Backhanded by Crampton. Long throw is offline. It gets past the first baseman Vincelli Samard and bounces into the Rivets dugout. So Wade Elliott moves up to second base, and the Rivets have a little bit of life, trailing 4-0 here in the top of the second.
This Kokomo turf is very firm. That throw too far for Vincelli Samard to even put a glove on it. Takes a hard bounce over what is a fairly short fence on the front of the dugout.
So that'll be a hit and an error for Wade Elliott. The error on the shortstop, Crampton. Rivets with a chance to get on the board. Jake Donahue, first pitch to him, misses low, blocked by Lavorsi. Wade Elliott started to trot towards third base, slammed on the brakes. It's 1-0. Donahue, the freshman from Central Michigan, playing in his last game of the summer. Batting .176. Robinson gets the sign. Lavorsi sets up on the outside corner. Here's the 1-0. Misses down and away, and that one gets past Lavorsi. Elliott to third base. The Rivets have their first run 90 feet away. 2-0 on Donahue. And once again, we talk about that word that we've brought up so many times, response for the Rivets. Falling down big in the first inning, trying to chip away. Robinson delivers the 2-0. Breaking ball hits Donahue right on the back, and he will trot on down to first base, and the Rivets have runners on the corners with one out here in the top of the second.
That'll definitely come into play for the Rivets here, as one thing that they've really benefited from is when they are able to get the starter out of the game early. The Rivets are a team that jumps on opposing bullpens, so to be able to get Robinson out of the game early may be a big victory for them.
We'll see if they can do so. Robinson at just 18 pitches right now. Johannes Hawkinson climbs in and grounds the first pitch right back to the pitcher Robinson. It bounces off of his glove to the shortstop Crampton, and everybody's safe. Wade Elliott comes in to score, and it's now 4-1 in the top of the second inning.
It'll be interesting to see how that one's scored. Obviously a scorcher, and it looks like it will be a hit. Not surprisingly, but we saw a questionable scoring decision yesterday on an infield single.
No error there for Hawkinson, who blasted that ball on a hop back to Robinson. So now there's runners on first and second, still one out. Rockford trying to chip away. Here's Josue Urdaneta, righty on righty. The first pitch from Robinson. Swinging a line drive into center field. Vasquez comes in on it and tracks it down in the left center field gap. That one looked good off the bat of Urdaneta, but he just hit it a little too high.
Yeah, a couple well-hit balls for the Rivets here. Haven't fallen in. Both Stengren and Urdaneta hitting line drives to the outfield. A great run there from Vasquez.
Here's Brandon Bannon with runners on first and second and two down in the top of the second frame. Rivets trail 4-1. Bannon had the day off yesterday. The sophomore from Illinois Springfield is 2 for 10. First pitch to him, breaking ball catches the inside corner. It's 0-1. Bannon, a guy that played a big role on a very good Illinois Springfield Prairie Stars team this spring. The 0-1, slider slides too far outside. Check swing from Bannon. He did not go around, 1-1.
Bannon, a very athletic guy, has only played second base for the Rivets, but did some catching at Illinois Springfield this year as well.
There goes Donahue for third. Both runners go. The throw goes down to second base, and they got Hawkinson by a mile. A little bit of a delayed steal from Hawkinson, and Lavorsi hosed him, and that ends the inning. But the Rivets get one back on an RBI single off the bat of Johannes Hawkinson. That makes it 4-1. Headed to the bottom of the second on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Kokomo Jackrabbits 4, Rockford Rivets 1. Lots of early action as we head to the bottom of the second inning. There's a new pitcher in the ball game. It's Tanner Mink taking over for Jared Herzog, who threw just one inning and allowed that grand slam to Martin Vincelli-Samard. Mink will face 9-1-2 in the Jackrabbits order, starting with Adam Crampton, the sophomore from Stanford, righty on righty, and the first pitch misses outside, 1-0.
Bit of an interesting move in two ways here. The first being that Jared Herzog's a guy that really settles in after the first inning. Obviously, you don't want to see your starter give up a grand slam, but the innings after his first are often very good.
1-0 is flied into right center field. Phil Matulia, the center fielder, calls off Jake Donahue in right and makes the play for out number one.
The second is that Tanner Mink has been less than consistent this year, giving up almost a run an inning with an 8.62 ERA, 15 2/3 innings pitched, an almost even 13 walks and 14 strikeouts. Just a guy that still hasn't been able to find his groove, only having 2 scoreless appearances this year out of his 10.
We'll see if he can right the ship. The Rivets need him to. He delivers the first pitch to the lefty, Jacob Marcy, and dots the outside corner with a fastball. It's 0-1. Marcy was hit with a pitch in the first and came around to score on that slam from Vincelli-Samard. Rivets trail 4-1. The 0-1 delivery. Fastball runs inside, nearly hit Marcy. Gets all the way to the backstop. Doesn't matter with nobody on. It's 1-1.
One thing that may come into play here for Tanner Mink, as a redshirt freshman, not a super experienced guy, has come in a lot of high leverage situations for the Rivets this year. Maybe getting a clean start in the second inning will work to his benefit.
Stengren sets up on the outside, and the 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Marcy. Marcy, a guy that's going to take his walks. He's got a .464 on-base percentage to pair with a .344 batting average. The 2-1 is hacked on and missed on an off-speed pitch on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Ethan, I was shocked to see Mink come out and start warming up to start this second inning. I really thought we'd see Herzog again. 2-2, fastball misses outside, and the count is run full.
I'm right there with you. I mean, I said it earlier. Jared Herzog, especially, you saw it in his last appearance, gave up 3 runs in his first inning and then went 5 straight, being nearly untouchable.
Mink delivers the payoff pitch. It's chopped up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Urdaneta, and he throws to first base after bobbling a few times, almost a few double clutches there. But he throws in time to get Marcy. That's out number 2. Scorcher up the middle, but Urdaneta was shifted properly. Rivets trail 4-1, bottom of the second inning, and here's Gavin Grant with the bases empty.
And I don't want to get stuck on this topic of the pitching change, but maybe the availability in the bullpen today with the off day tomorrow, almost every arm is hot. Maybe the coaching staff came in with this viewed as a bullpen day in the first place.
First pitch misses high to Grant, 1-0. Grant singled and scored in the first inning. We really haven't seen any bullpen days for Rockford this season. The 1-0 runs inside, 2 balls, no strikes. We've seen days, needless to say, where the pitcher is pulled after the first inning because of their struggles. Today being another one of those days, but no day where it's been set that the bullpen is going to eat all the innings. The 2-0 is popped foul off to the right side, out of play. And that one shot near the playground down the right field line, bounced into the net. Some young fans wrestle for the ball. Here's the 2-1 to Grant. He squares to bunt, pulls back, and watches ball 3 on the turf, 3-1. Tanner Mink sets at the belt with nobody on. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball misses way low and outside. And that's a 2-out walk issued to Gavin Grant in the bottom of the second inning. Rivets trail 4-1. Those walks came back and haunted the Rivets yesterday, as they issued a few of them early to Kokomo in the third and fourth inning out of the hand of Ben Vitus, and a lot of those runners came in to score. Righty on righty as Chase Mydroth climbs in, and the first pitch to him is a fastball that dots the outside corner, 0-1. Mydroth singled and scored last inning. Been one of the toughest outs in the Northwoods League. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses on the turf. It's 1-1 as a butterfly floats past our broadcast booth. Looks like it's going to come right in here for a minute. Mydroth has struck out just 7 times this season. Here's the 1-1 as the runner goes. Pitch misses outside. Throw down is in time to hose Gavin Grant. A good throw from Drew Stengren ends the inning. Tanner Mink faces the minimum in his first inning of work, and the score holds. Kokomo 4, Rivets 1 after 2 innings on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the third inning in Kokomo, Indiana. The Rivets trail the Jackrabbits 4-1, thanks to a grand slam for Martin Vincelli-Samard in the first inning off of Jared Herzog. First would be his only inning of work. Ryan Robinson, on the other hand, is back out for the third inning, and the first pitch to Brandon Bannon is on the way. Pitch misses down and outside. It's 1-0.
Bannon can almost serve as the leadoff hitter here, with today's actual leadoff hitter, Kevin Bushnell, standing on deck. Not really a guy that's built like a top-of-the-order type guy.
The 1-0 runs inside. 2 balls and no strikes on Bannon, who's played in 3 games. He was stranded at the plate as Johannes Hawkinson was caught stealing at second base to end the second inning. Robinson fires. Swing and a miss on a fastball out over the heart of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Robinson working from the right side of the rubber. Comes set at the chest with nobody on, and offers the 2-1. Breaking ball catches the lower reaches of the zone, 2-2.
Robinson looking really good with that breaking ball early, has been able to spot it up for a strike, as well as draw some swings and misses.
Robinson, previously a reliever, now turned into a starting pitcher. Here's the 2-2 offering, swing and a miss, and a foul ball on that breaking ball. Looked like Bannon didn't get a piece of that, really had to reach his hands out for that pitch to get a piece, and he did, so he stays alive, and the count remains at 2-2. Bannon with a good battle to start this inning. 2-2. Check swing, foul ball off the leg of Bannon. And a bit of an awkward swing there, but no less he stays alive. And it's still 2-2.
Yeah, definitely more of a fight-off swing there than anything looking to put the ball in play. Probably still feeling that one in his hands.
Bannon trying to get a good result here. Another 2-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. That time Bannon came up empty, couldn't get a piece. That's out number 1 to start the top of the third inning. Rivets trail 4-1.
Again, a really effective use of that breaking ball there, following up the one that was spotted for a strike with one in the opposite batter's box. Just kind of draws a wave from the Rivets second baseman.
So that brings up the top of the order with the bases empty and Kevin Bushnell. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Breaking ball tails too far outside. It's 1-0. Bushnell settles into an open batting stance, rests the bat on his shoulder. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on that nasty breaking stuff again. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And we talked about the Rivets potentially going to a bullpen day. Another arm getting loose in the pen. That's righty Eli Sanchez from Northern Illinois.
1-1 offering. Breaking ball misses inside. Bushnell lays off. 2-1. I'm a bit surprised, frankly. Mink looked decent in that second inning. Robinson kicks and fires. Swinging a chopper foul down the third base side. 2-2. So that begs the question, will we see 9 pitchers for the Rivets tonight?
My guess would be no, especially if Sanchez is the next arm due to come in, a guy that can go 3 or 4 innings and remain effective throughout.
2-2 swung on and missed on another bender that dropped out of the strike zone. Back-to-back Ks for Robinson. He's got 3 tonight. And after a tough second inning, he's bounced back nicely. 2 down, bases empty for Phil Matulia. Rivets scoring their lone run on an RBI infield single by Johannes Hawkinson in that second inning. Matulia climbs in 0 for 1 with a ground out to first base. First pitch from Robinson. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Rivets working to snap a 3-game losing streak. 1-0 pitch. Curveball catches the outside corner. And without a doubt, that's been Robinson's best pitch tonight, and he uses it to even the count at 1. Robinson steps off for quickly stepping back on, coming set, and delivering. Line drive down the right field line. That one's going to drop fair. Matulia rounds first. He's thinking extra bases. He's going to cruise into second with a stand-up 2-out double in the top of the 3rd inning.
And I was just about to say, while that curveball is working really well, Robinson may be getting a little overconfident, throwing it a lot to the lefty hitters. It could come back to bite him, and it did. And hopefully for the Rivets, with another lefty stepping in the box, they can maybe trade places with another double.
Shamar Page will work to drive in his Louisiana Tech teammate. He climbs in 0 for 1. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. And the first pitch misses downstairs, 1-0. The Rivets trail 4-1, but now they've got the opportunity to have that lead. Page with just 1 RBI this summer. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses low. 2 balls, no strikes.
And Robinson, after the hit by Matulia, trying to keep that breaking ball away from the upper part of the zone, trying to hit Shamar Page with a back foot curveball or just kind of spike it for a swing and miss.
2-0 offering, another breaking ball, another miss. This time inside and low. 3 balls, no strikes on Shamar. You think he possibly gets the green light here?
I think he probably has the green light, but Shamar Page, I don't expect him to be swinging here unless he sees an absolute meatball down the middle.
Robinson takes a breath and comes home. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Page takes a step towards first base. Probably thought that was going to be called a strike, but it was close, and now the count is 3-1. Now it's a hitter's count for Shamar. We'll see if he sees another breaking ball. Robinson has gone to that pitch almost exclusively in this at-bat. 3-1 pitch. There's another slider in there for a called strike on the outside corner, and it's full. Page gets in a lot of good at-bats. And we'll see if he can draw a walk despite Robinson coming back. Here's the payoff pitch. Line drive up the middle. That one drops into center out of the reach of the shortstop Crampton. Matulia gets the wave around. The throw to the plate is nowhere near in time. And Shamar Page picks up an RBI single. Rivets now only trail by 2 in the top of the 3rd.
Really good work by the Rivets offense, getting started early, cutting that deficit in half. Obviously not much you can do about the grand slam now except start to get your bats rolling.
Rockford is now on the comeback trail, and it looks like that offense is starting to regain its footing. Here's Drew Stengren, the cleanup man. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. Righty on righty. Page takes his lead, being held on by Martin Vincelli Samard at first. First pitch. Breaking ball hits Stengren. Looks like Robinson is starting to lose his command with that pitch. And there's 2 on with 2 out for Wade Elliott, with the Rivets trailing 4-2, and that's going to draw a mound meeting for manager Hayden Carter.
And despite the fact that they're trailing by 2, this is exactly where the Rivets want to be. Starting to draw free passes via the walk and hit by pitch. It's really how their offense has gotten rolling all year. And then a guy like Wade Elliott coming to the plate can really clean it up with an extra base hit here.
Wade Elliott, the team leader with 31 RBIs. And you're right about those walks. And really, that's something that during this 2-game stretch in which the Rivets have really struggled has really gone by the wayside, those walks. Entering tonight, in the last 2 games, the Rivets had drawn just 5 walks. They drew 4 last night. They weren't able to capitalize. Tonight they're starting to come back with a few more of those walks. Free passes more accurately. No walks from Ryan Robinson, but 2 hit by pitches. So essentially the same thing. And we've seen a lot of long at-bats here in this 3rd inning. The mound visit is over. Robinson steps back on the rubber to face Elliott. Here's the first pitch. Fastball catches the low outside corner, 0-1. Wade Elliott singled his first time up and came around to score in the 2nd inning. Can he get the Rivets a run closer? Robinson delivers the 0-1. Line drive over the head of the third baseman, Chase Mydroth down the left field line all the way to the wall. Shamar Page motors around third. He will score. Here comes Drew Stengren around third. The throw to the plate is in time to get him. A great relay throw by Adam Crampton, the shortstop, up the left field line. Cuts down Drew Stengren at the plate. But it's an RBI double off the bat of Wade Elliott, and the Rivets now only trail by 1. It's 4-3, headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning with the Rivets trailing the first place Kokomo Jackrabbits 4-3. Rivets falling behind on a Martin Vincelli-Simard 1st inning grand slam. They've scored 1 run in the 2nd inning and 2 in the top of this 3rd inning to start to crawl back. Tanner Mink is back out for his 2nd inning of relief work. He'll face Chase Mydroth, TJ Fontaine, and Martin Vincelli-Simard. 3-4-5 in the order, starting with Mydroth, and the first pitch misses outside, 1-0.
The Rivets definitely coming into this inning feeling confident about their chances to win this game despite trailing by 1. You could almost say that the leadoff grand slam, or the early inning grand slam, was not much of a momentum change at all.
Well, it's all about that response, and the Rivets responded pretty well. 1-1 as a breaking ball missed on the 1-0. Mink comes back and misses inside with another curveball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Mydroth is 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the first. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses up and in, 3 balls, 1 strike. The Rivets are going to need Mink or really whoever out of the bullpen to eat a lot of innings after Jared Herzog surprisingly only went one. 3-1 pitch. Runs inside and it's leadoff walk to Chase Mydroth.
It's going to be a next man up mentality for the Rockford pitching staff. We will probably see 5 or 6 arms today.
Day off tomorrow for both these teams, so it's a little bit of a all hands on deck type of day. Rivets have lost 3 straight. Kokomo looking for back-to-back victories to close this season series with Rockford. First pitch to the lefty, TJ Fontaine, misses high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Chase Mydroth with 4 stolen bases, being held on by Kevin Bushnell at first base. Tanner Mink working from the left side of the rubber against the lefty Fontaine. He deals the 1-0, swing and a miss on a well-located fastball, 1-1. Fontaine is 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout back in the first.
Definitely a guy that likes to take a lot of big hacks here at what is a pretty deep ballpark in Kokomo, Indiana.
The 1-1 is poured in there. Another good fastball from Mink. 1-2. 330 down the lines. 369 to the right field alley. 348 to left and 400 to dead center here at Kokomo Municipal. 1-2 offering, swing and a miss on a breaking ball outside of the zone. A good pitch from Mink as Fontaine chases. And that's the first out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rivets trail 4-3.
Really good arm side 2-seam from Tanner Mink there. Running just along the black of the plate with the late tail away from the bat. Really no chance for Fontaine to even foul that one off.
And here is Martin Vincelli Samard, who did a lot of damage with his last swing. That grand slam, that still is the difference. Righty on righty in the first pitch, misses high and outside, 1-0. And after Vincelli Samard belted that grand slam in between innings, the PA announcer gave a shout out to his dad, who is in attendance. Came all the way from Canada to watch the game. 1-0 pitch swung on and lifted foul over the screen, out of play, 1-1. And I know Martin Vincelli Samard's parents, neither of them have been able to come to the States to either watch him at Sacramento State or here in Kokomo due to border restrictions due to COVID. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. But it's good to hear that Vincelli Samard's dad was able to make it down today.
Yeah, always cool to have a good performance in front of your parents. And even if Vincelli Samard doesn't get another hit this game, hitting a grand slam for your dad is a pretty good memory.
2-1 is popped up to the left side of the infield. Josue Urdaneta, the shortstop, ranges into left field and puts it away for out number 2. A little less eventful fly ball off the bat of Samard there. Mink looking to work around a leadoff walk. Mydroth remains on first base. Kokomo leads the Rivets 4-3, and here's Camden Vasquez. Vasquez is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Mydroth takes his lead, fakes towards second, and the first pitch is flied into center again. Matulia moves back, now comes in a few steps, and makes the grab with 2 hands to end the inning. Tanner Mink strands Chase Mydroth after a leadoff walk, and the score remains Jackrabbits 4, Rockford Rivets 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Headed to the fourth inning in the heart of the crossroads of America. The Rivets trail the Kokomo Jackrabbits 4-3, thanks to a Martin Vincelli-Samard grand salami back in the first inning. Still the difference, but the Rivets have scored each of the last 3 runs. 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and they'll look to continue the comeback here in the fourth. Jake Donahue, Johannes Hawkinson, and Josue Urdaneta due up against Ryan Robinson. First pitch to Donahue. Breaking ball misses low, 1-0. Donahue, Hawkinson, and Urdaneta represent 6, 7, 8 in this Rivets lineup. Donahue was hit with a pitch his first time. The kick in the 1-0. Breaking ball misses down and away. 2 balls, no strikes.
We talk about it a lot, but Jake Donahue, a guy that always seems to find himself in a full count. Just kind of part of the way he approaches each at-bat. Always seems to end up with 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Here's the 2-0 offering, and a fastball misses inside. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, he would love to draw a 4-pitch walk here, but something's telling me he may foul off a couple before ultimately accepting a walk.
We'll see if that's the case. Fastball dots the inside corner, 3-1. We're almost there. Donahue was stranded on third base to end the second inning. Robinson fires. There's a little chopper foul up the third base line, and the count is indeed full on Jake Donahue. So how about that?
And I'm sure Jake Donahue will be hearing it from fellow outfielder Daniel Cantu, who still does not understand the Central Michigan approach.
Robinson comes set at the belt. Here's the payoff pitch to Donahue. Swinging a ground ball down to third base, fielded cleanly by Mydroth, and the toss across is in time to retire Donahue for out number 1 in the top of the fourth inning. Kokomo 4, Rivets 3, bases empty for Johannes Hawkinson. And Ethan, maybe explain it to our listeners at home. What exactly is that Central Michigan approach?
As far as I know, it kind of works inside out, which is a little different than what most approaches are, because you try to work outside in to get full extension on the ball.
First pitch to Hawkinson is on the way. Fastball misses inside, 1-0.
So early in the at-bat, Chippewa batters are taught to sit on the fastball on the inner side of the inner half of the plate and get their hands around quick and expand out as the count goes farther up.
1-0 pitch, hacked on and missed on an off-speed offering from Robinson, back even at 1 apiece.
And that leads to a lot of taken close strikes by Jake Donahue and some of his teammates, which just baffles Daniel Cantu.
1-1, a check swing from Hawkinson on a breaking ball outside. He checked up, says the first base umpire, Sean McKinney. Connor McKenzie behind the plate today, and Matthew Metcalf at third. 2 balls and a strike on Hawkinson, who had an RBI single his first time. And the pitch misses low. And it's 3 balls and a strike. Some hitters just like to sit on particular pitches. Other pitchers, or hitters I should say, will swing it at anything close to the zone. 3-1 to Hawkinson, cued on the ground down to first base, gobbled up by Vincelli-Samard. He trots to the bag to put away Hawkinson for out number 2. Rivets trail by 1, top of the fourth inning, and here's Josue Urdaneta.
And I can see where the approach comes from. If you're looking for those inside pitches early and you know you have to get your hands around quick, it's a little easier than trying to be reactive, as we just saw with that at-bat by Johannes Hawkinson, where he kind of went inside out on a ball that jammed him around the hands.
So many hitters are just taught to pick your pitch and try to go with that. First pitch to Josue Urdaneta. Curveball is in there at the bottom of the zone, 0-1. Josue's 0 for 1 with a flyout. So that would be if Urdaneta is sitting here in this 0-1 count. He's thinking, I want to hit a fastball on the inside corner. And he would sit for a fastball. And Robinson pours a breaking ball in there that misses low. It's 1-1. And I would say the Rivets batters would be more likely to sit on a breaking ball from Robinson, considering he's thrown so many of them tonight. 1-1 offering. There's another breaking ball, and that time it's a called strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Yeah, and with the frequency they're coming in, if you focus on spotting that early on, like early on as it approaches the plate, you can really square it up and hit it for a lot of power.
Urdaneta swings and misses that said breaking ball, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Robinson. He keeps the Rivets off the board for the first time in 2 frames, and the score remains Kokomo 4, Rockford 3. Head to the bottom of the 4th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 4th inning, it's Kokomo 4, Rockford 3, thanks to a first inning grand slam from Martin Vincelli Samard. Rivets starting to come back though, 1 run in the 2nd, 2 runs in the 3rd. Tanner Mink, the reliever from South Florida, is out for another inning of relief work. His 3rd after taking over for starter Jared Herzog, who went just 1 inning. The Rivets working to snap a 3-game losing streak before this 4-game road trip ends. Mink will face the lower third of the order here, starting with Ben Lavorsi, who's 1 for 1 with a single. Taking the first pitch from Mink, swung on and popped up into right field. Jake Donahue calls off the center fielder Phil Matulia and makes the grab one-handed for out number 1.
And talking about Tanner Mink's return to the mound, it's you could go as far to say as this is his best outing of the year. He did go 3 innings against Battle Creek back on July 9th. Only giving up 1 run there, so pretty respectable performance, but 2 1/3 here, scoreless, really looks good for his game log.
Trying to lower that ERA, which sits at over 8.5. First pitch to the lefty, Ryan Ellis, is in there for a called strike. Lower reaches of the zone, and it's 0-1 on Ellis, the Peoria, Arizona native. Freshman at St. Mary's. Mink takes a breath and fires. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, 0-2. Ellis is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. One of a plethora of Jackrabbits who attends school or is from California. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ellis settles into an open batting stance from the left side, rests the bat on his shoulder. Stengren sets up outside, and the 1-2 misses high and outside. And it's back even at 2 apiece. It was certainly surprising to see Jared Herzog pulled after 1 inning. But if Mink keeps dealing like he is, he might as well keep sending him out there. The 2-2 is chopped on the ground to shortstop, and Josue Urdaneta can't backhand it. It's into center field. That's a play that Josue Urdaneta makes 9 times out of 10, but he didn't make it there. There's a runner aboard.
Coming in at a really tough angle there for Urdaneta with the lefty up to bat. He was shifted almost directly behind second base, probably about a step or 2 off to the left of second base from our angle. So coming forward on that backhand may have even been a lost cause on the throw. Possibly couldn't have had the chance to nab Ryan Ellis at first. I'm honestly surprised that's an error.
First pitch misses outside to Crampton. Throw down to first base. Not in time. 1-0 on the sophomore from Stanford, who's 0 for 1. It is indeed scored an error on Urdaneta. Was a tough play, but we've seen a lot of errors called on the infielders here in Kokomo. Fair enough. The 1-0. Shot foul. It's back even at 1 apiece. Another beautiful night for baseball in the crossroads of America. Temperature sitting in the mid to high 80s all day long, starting to cool off. Sun's still shining. The 1-1 pitch buried outside. Crampton watches it for ball 2. The Rivets have seen a lot of good weather on this 4-game road trip. Some may argue that we haven't seen a lot of good baseball. Here's the 2-1 from Mink, cut on and missed, back even at 2 apiece.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about coming up to the Northwoods League. You get a lot of great days of weather. It's not unbearably hot most days. I mean, obviously the turf will add a little bit of that element, but a lot of the cities here, like, they have 80-degree summers, and that's super comfortable for baseball.
2-2 shot foul into the seats, and that one lands in an empty seat directly next to a person who didn't see the ball coming. They pick it up after it harmlessly sat on a bag or something. How about that break? Still 2-2 on Crampton.
Always nice to pick up a souvenir without having to leave your chair.
2-2 pitch, cut on and missed on a breaking ball in the dirt. No drop third strike rule there. With Ellis on first base, and there's 2 down, second strikeout for Tanner Mink.
And not to go unnoticed, but Drew Stengren has looked fantastic these first 4 innings behind the plate, blocking a ton of bouncing balls with runners on base.
It's Jackrabbits 4, Rivets 3. Here's the top of the order in Jacob Marcy. Marcy 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a run scored. First pitch from the righty Mink. Fastball lashed foul down the third base side, out of play. Interesting note here on Mr. Marcy. He is one of 2 players for the Jackrabbits named Jacob, spelled with a K.
I did notice that. That's a very unique coincidence.
Don't see that very often. The 0-1 pitch, he squares to bunt and watches a strike right down the middle, 0-2. Of course, Jacob generally spelled J-A-C-O-B. Jacob here, J-A-K-O-B. He waves the bat back and forth above his shoulder. Mink fires the 0-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch on the dirt. Drew Stengren tags out his Central Michigan teammate Marcy, and the inning is over. Tanner Mink strands Ryan Ellis on first after an error and picks up 2 strikeouts, so the score remains Jackrabbits 4, Rivets 3 on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 5th inning on getaway day for the Rockford Rivets. They trail the Jackrabbits 4-3. Fourth game of a 4-game road trip. The Rivets have lost 3 straight on this trip, arguably the biggest of the season, including 2 games here against the first place Jackrabbits. Ryan Robinson is out for his 5th inning of work. He'll face the 9-batter Brandon Bannon to start the frame. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Breaking ball dives too far outside, 1-0. Bannon is 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout. And as soon as Robinson records an out this inning, it will be his longest outing of the season. The kick in the 1-0, a foul ball just off the end of the bat of Bannon. Lavorsi couldn't hang on, and it's 1-1.
And we saw a similar situation yesterday from Steven Silvas, by far his longest outing of the year, after not having made it past the 4th inning.
Bannon waves his black bat back and forth and check swings at the 1-1. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner to strike either way. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the sophomore from Illinois Springfield. Robinson has gone 4 innings 3 times this summer, getting his first start tonight. He fires the 1-2. Breaking ball misses inside, nearly hits Bannon. He jumps out of the way. 2-2. He taps the plate twice. He's in a slightly closed batting stance. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball buried on the turf. A very slight swing from Bannon. Didn't go around, and now the count is full.
We've seen a lot of good at-bats here from the Rivets. Starting to run the pitch count up for Robinson, who currently sits at 67.
He deals the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. And he sets down Bannon. 5th strikeout of the evening for the sophomore from San Diego. The Rivets still trail by 1. Top half of the 5th. Base is empty for Kevin Bushnell. Bushnell is 0 for 2 in the leadoff spot. And we talked about it earlier, but Bushnell doesn't think he's ever batted leadoff. Righty on righty in the first pitch. A high chopper foul down the third base line, 0-1.
A lot of times, though, where you are in the lineup past that first inning, you can make an impact 1-9. As long as you're swinging well, barreling up balls, it really doesn't matter where you sit on that lineup card.
0-1 pitch. Slider misses too far outside, 1-1. You make a great point, and really the way a lot of managers construct their lineups these days is based on who they want to get the most at-bats. Robinson delivers. Pitch misses inside to Bushnell, who crowds the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
Good work there by Bushnell, crowding the plate. Kind of puts the pressure on Robinson to throw inside. Work the black right next to Kevin Bushnell.
He turns and fires, and a jam shot fly ball into center field. Long run for Camden Vasquez to track it down in right center. That ball kept carrying pretty well off the bat on a pitch that was in on the hands.
Yeah, that was an extremely long run for Vasquez. It just seemed to keep getting farther and farther away from him. He was still on the run at full speed by the time he gloved that ball.
So here's Phil Matulia with the bases empty in the top of the 5th. Kokomo 4, Rockford 3. Matulia doubled and scored his last time in the 3rd inning. That came with 2 outs. Can he do it again? First pitch. Breaking ball misses low and outside, 1-0. The days are waning for the Rivets. 17 games remaining and fewer remaining with Phil Matulia on the team. Here's the 1-0. Fastball dots the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, that'll definitely come into play for the Rivets and many other teams in the Northwoods League. Phil Matulia, probably the team MVP on the year. A lot of other teams are going to start losing their respective MVPs as well.
Matulia watches the 1-1 in there and steps out of the box and takes a slow motion swing as if to tell himself, why didn't you swing at that pitch? Breaking ball kind of out over the heart of the plate, and it's 1-2. Deep in this count, Matulia likes swinging early in counts. Robinson sets at the letters, looking for a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a line drive down the right field line. That one drops fair. It one hops the wall. Matulia cruises to second base, and he's going to stop there. It's his second consecutive double, and he's 2 for 3.
Yeah, pretty much an identical play there. Same type of swing, same type of result. An easy stand-up double for Matulia. Just a couple hops to the wall. And the Rivets have a 2-out base runner.
With Shamar Page stepping to the plate, and the last time that Matulia doubled with 2 outs, Page singled him home. That came in the 3rd inning. Rivets with a chance to tie this game at 4. First pitch to the lefty, Page. He takes strike 1, a fastball on the outside corner. That RBI knock by Page was just his 2nd run driven in this summer. Page, a two-way player for Rockford, made a great start on Sunday against Traverse City, only to get the loss. The 0-1 liner into right. That one drops. Matulia gets the wave around third base, and he will score. And for the 2nd time this game, Shamar Page drives in his Louisiana Tech teammate Phil Matulia, and we're tied at 4 in the top of the 5th. What an exciting day for the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs in this Rivets order. Rivets with another 2-out rally against Ryan Robinson. And it's not quite over yet as Drew Stengren climbs in. He was hit with a pitch his last time against Robinson. Page takes his lead off of first base, being held on by Vincelli Samard in the first pitch. A breaking ball that finds the inside corner of the zone, 0-1. Stengren came into this game with a red-hot bat. Here's the 0-1. Check swing on a breaking ball down in the dirt. The appeal down to first base. Sean McKinney says he didn't go around. 1-1.
Oddly enough, the only Rivet using a bat with a red barrel. A few bat options offered to the team. Drew Stengren, the only one electing to use this particular one.
Interesting. He watches an inside pitch. Did not go around on a breaking ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Entering tonight, Stengren was 5 for his last 7 with 4 walks in his previous 3 games. That is pretty good. And a hitter's count here. Here's the 2-1. Misses low, 3 balls and a strike. Martin Vincelli Samard belted a grand slam in the first inning. It's all 4 runs for Kokomo. The Rivets scoring 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 here in the 5th to come back against the first place Jackrabbits. Robinson sets at the letters and throws. Swing on and flied into center field. Routine play for Camden Vasquez, and he makes the play in the shadows, reaching into center field. And that ends the frame. But the Rivets tie it up thanks to an RBI single by Shamar Page. It's now 4-4, headed to the bottom of the 5th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. We've got a brand new ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Rivets 4, Jackrabbits 4. Rivets falling behind after a grand slam in the 1st inning off the bat of Martin Vincelli-Samard, but they've scored the last 4 runs, and Shamar Page has knotted this game with an RBI single. Back in the top half of this inning, Tanner Mink out for his 4th inning of relief work against Gavin Grant to start, and the first pitch to him misses inside with a fastball 1-0.
Yeah, we've seen big contributions from guys we haven't seen in a while. Shamar Page, we saw him make the start on the mound, but he hasn't been in the lineup in almost 2 weeks.
1-0 pitch, dots the outside corner. Now it's 1-1.
And Tanner Mink, a guy that hasn't pitched in a bit as well. He's made his impact on the mound with 3 zeros so far, looking for his 4th.
Grant has reached both times, and he squares to bunt, pulls back, and watches the pitch inside, 2-1. Grant singled and scored in the 1st, and then walked and was caught stealing in the 2nd. Righty on righty, Mink fires. High chopper, foul up the 3rd base line, 2-2. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night. Rivets wrapping up a 3-game, now 4-game road trip. Trying to wrap up a 3-game losing streak is perhaps what I was thinking. Mink sets at the belt and delivers the 2-2. Swung on and tapped foul again up the 3rd base side. We'll have another.
We mentioned it last inning, but getting a lot of support from a team that wasn't used to losing this year, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. 3 out of the 4 RBI today from Bulldogs, including 3 doubles combined from Phil Matulia and Wade Elliott.
It's not too shabby. Another 2-2 to Grant. Swinging a chopper, fair this time to shortstop. Urdaneta charges gloves, throws in time to get Grant by a hair at first base. A bang-bang play, but Urdaneta converts for out number 1.
A bullet across the diamond from Josue Urdaneta. Really tough to make the play on those high choppers, and he managed it perfectly.
Urdaneta, one of the better defensive shortstops in the league. There's 1 out for Chase Mydroth. We're tied at 4 apiece, bottom of the 5th inning. Mydroth has also reached both times. 1 hit, 1 walk. He squares to bunt, pulls back, and watches a fastball high. Mydroth switching between shortstop and 3rd base for Kokomo manager Hayden Carter this summer. We were talking about it earlier, but he's extremely difficult to strike out. He watches the 1-0 high, 2 balls, no strikes. But digging a little deeper into those strikeout numbers, Mydroth has not struck out since July 1st.
It's unreal.
He's got just 7 all year. The kick in the 2-0 sails too far outside, 3 balls, no strikes.
I'm sure his coaching staff at San Diego loves seeing that, facing some top-level talent here. Would love to get back to the West Coast and carry some of this fantastic pitch selection into his season with San Diego.
He doesn't even offer at a pitch from Mink and watches ball 4 on a fastball inside. It's a 4-pitch walk to the Kokomo All-Star. 1 down, bottom of the 5th. Rivets and Rabbits tied at 4 apiece. And here's TJ Fontaine. Fontaine is 0 for 2. In contrast to Mydroth, he's got 2 strikeouts tonight. Now 39 on the season. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Mink deals. First pitch swung on and fouled back. 0-1.
And with another walk there, we'll start to keep our eyes out for any movement in the Rockford pen. Tanner Mink already in the longest appearance of his season with Rockford at 3 1/3. I'll be interested to see how much longer Doug Coe and JT Scarra choose to run him out there.
The 0-1 sprayed foul into the screen, 0-2. Pitch in on the hands of Mink. From Mink, in on the hands of Fontaine more accurately. Mink looks to set down Fontaine on strikes again.
Both Fontaine and Tanner Mink, two-way players. It could be the other way around.
My apologies. The 0-2 reached out and fouled off. We'll do it again. Sometimes you get tied up. You know, there's only so many perfect calls you can make in a 9-inning game. It's easy to talk your brain into a pretzel sometimes. Mink delivers another 0-2. Swinging a chopper foul down the first base side. And we'll see another 0-2 pitch.
This has been a great comeback at bat for Tanner Mink. Up 0-2 already against a very strikeout-prone guy, as we mentioned.
Mink lets the right arm hang, looking for the sign. He's got it and comes home. Swinging a line drive into shallow right field. Long run for Jake Donahue, and he makes a running catch. Mydroth retreats back to first base. That one was falling fast. I wasn't sure if Donahue was going to get there, but he tracked it down for out number 2.
Yeah, really good jump there from Donahue. We've seen a lot of good outfield defense so far this game. Yesterday we didn't get to see much outfield defense at all, good or bad. A lot of infield singles, infield ground balls for the Rivets, and Kokomo, while they did win, didn't make a ton of hard contact out to the outfield.
Rockford and Kokomo tied at 4, bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Martin Vincelli-Samard. Misses high, 1-0. Mydroth remains on first base. Vincelli-Samard responsible for all 4 Kokomo runs with one swing of the bat back in the first inning. A monster shot. 1-0, fastball misses high again, 2 balls, no strikes. That ball sailed way out of here. The wind is blowing out, but it's not playing any sort of huge effect. His grand slam back in the first inning sailed almost over the sidewalk that is behind the grassy berm beyond the outfield wall. The 2-0 dots the inside corner. Good pitch from Mink, 2-1.
Yeah, and a pretty tall wall out there in left field. A little deceiving on camera as the solid wall is followed up by a chain link fence above it.
2-1 pitch, down and away, 3-1. It's a little deceiving. It's pretty hard to hit a ground rule double here. The wall's a little shorter out and right for whatever reason. Probably just the lay of the land, frankly. Here's the 3-1, misses down and outside, and it's a 2-out walk issued to Martin Vincelli-Samard. Second walk of the inning for Mink, showcasing a little bit of command issues. Now he's up to 4 walks in this outing. Mydroth to second, Samard on first base for Camden Vasquez, who's 0 for 2.
And we almost saw a mound visit there from Doug Coe, who took one step out of the dugout and quickly backpedaled.
He hit you with the hezzy.
Yeah, definitely fooled me.
First pitch to the lefty, Vasquez. He squares to bunt, pulls back, and it's 1-0. Rivets 4, Jackrabbits 4. Vasquez could untie this game with a knock. He killed the Rivets yesterday. Was 3 for 4 with a home run off the right field foul pole. Mink fires. Pitch misses high, 2 balls, no strikes, and now here comes Doug Coe.
And with that, we also see a messenger over to the Rockford bullpen that will start to get an arm loose. It looks like it may be righty Ryan Green, who we have not seen since before the break.
The Rivets have lost now 4 of 5 games since the All-Star break. And Ryan Green, the junior from Concordia, Wisconsin, is going to start getting loosened up as Doug Coe talks things over with the battery and the entire Rivets infield. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard tonight around the Northwoods League, Battle Creek leads Kalamazoo 5-0. Looking for back-to-back victories over their geographic rival. Kenosha leads Traverse City 5-0 in the top of the 4th up in Traverse City. Wisconsin is shutting out Green Bay 1-0 in the top of the 2nd in Green Bay. Fond du Lac and Madison tied in a scoreless ball game in the top of the third in Fondy.
A little quiet up in Green Bay compared to last night, where we may have seen the performance of the year from Woodchuck's first baseman Stephen Reed, who went deep not once, not twice, not even 3 times, 4 home runs for Reed last night.
2-0 to Camden Vasquez in there for a strike. I guess the mound meeting from Doug Coe worked. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rivets tied with Kokomo 4-4, bottom of the 5th. And that was an impressive feat. I certainly have seen a few multi-home run games in the Northwoods League, but never 4. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball misses high, 3-1.
Yeah, I think the most I've seen in person is 3. I saw Ryan Mountcastle back when he was in the minor leagues for the Orioles. Hit 3 in a game once.
What a name that is. Mountcastle.
Pretty big guy.
A Mountcastle of a man, perhaps. 3-1 misses down and in, and they are loaded. Mink doling out 3 free passes in the frame. Still 2 outs, but Mydroth moves to third, Vincelli Samard to second, and Ben Lavorsi coming to the plate.
And I'm not sure how long Ryan Green's warm-up process takes, but it's possible that this will be the final batter for Tanner Mink.
You would almost certainly prefer to hand Green a clean inning, who he himself has struggled with command. Lavorsi is 1 for 2. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. And the first pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Doug Coe pointing towards the outfield, trying to shift some guys around against lefty Lavorsi, who singled back in the first inning and flied out to right his last time. The kick in the 1-0. Pitch misses high, 2 balls, no strikes. This could be a turning point in this game. The Rivets fell down 4-0 in the first inning. They've scored each of the last 4 runs. But now they're in danger of losing the tie.
Yeah, and you absolutely don't want to do it on a free pass. A bases loaded walk can really kill any momentum that a team has in a dugout.
2-0 is poured in there on the outside corner. Mink finally delivers a strike. 2-1. Lavorsi without a home run this summer. He's got 15 RBIs. Settles into an open batting stance in the left side. Stengren sets up outside. Here's the 2-1. Pitch runs inside, right at knee level. And Mink is now a ball away from walking in a run. 3 balls and 1 strike. Got to be careful with this 3-1. If you miss the zone, it's a guaranteed run. If you leave one out over the heart, could be more. The pitch in there for a called strike, dotting the outside corner, and now the count is full.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised to not see Ben Lavorsi swing away there. He knew he would either be getting a pitch right where he wants to hit it or something nowhere near the zone. Got a fastball on the outer half and didn't even take the bat off his shoulder.
Payoff pitch from Mink, trying to keep this game tied. Foul back, we'll do it again. Mink had been quite solid in relief until this inning. Gone 3 2/3, hurling 74 pitches. Trying to make it 4 full, but needs to get Lavorsi, otherwise he's probably going to come out of this game. Here's another 3-2. Swinging another chopper foul. We'll do it again.
Mink clearly has Lavorsi off balance here. Not a lot of hard swings. Kind of just trying to stay alive here in a full count in, as we mentioned, what could be a game-changing moment for the Kokomo Jackrabbits.
Rivets 4, Jackrabbits 4. Bases loaded, bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. Another 3-2, swing and a miss. He got him. Mink delivered a breaking ball outside of the zone, and Lavorsi chased And this game remains tied at 4, headed to the 6th inning on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 6th inning in Kokomo, Indiana, still tied at 4 apiece after Tanner Mink strands the bases loaded after he walked him full in the bottom of the 5th. Ryan Robinson, the starter for Kokomo, back out there to face Wade Elliott to start the 6th. Righty on righty, and the first pitch misses inside, 1 ball, no strikes. 5, 6, 7 in the Rivets order due up. Elliott, Donahue, Hawkinson. Rivets have scored each of the last 4 runs after allowing a grand slam to Martin Vincelli-Samard in the first. The kick in the 1-0, swinging a fly ball into shallow left field. Long run for Ryan Ellis. He tracks it down for out number 1.
Yeah, and Wade Elliott not getting that ball in the sweet spot. Read it well, timed it out maybe a little early, but just couldn't connect with a solid part of the barrel to drive that ball what would have been a long way.
So here's Jake Donahue with the bases empty in a tie ball game. Rivets working to snap a 3-game losing streak. They've lost every game on this road trip. First pitch, breaking ball runs inside, 1-0. Jake Donahue is 0 for 1, was hit with a pitch in the 2nd inning and grounded out to 3rd in the 4th. Robinson from the stretch with nobody on. Fires the 1-0. Swinging a tapper down to 3rd base, this time foul, 1-1. We were talking in between innings, Ethan, about how rare it's been for the Rivets to get out of a bases-loaded jam. Tanner Mink did it there that last half inning.
Yeah, it just seems like whatever can go wrong will go wrong when the bases are loaded for the Rivets. Even just 1 run always seems to trickle in.
1-1 pitch, flared foul off to the right side and out of play. It's 1-2. You're right, because pitching has been the problem for the Rivets all year long. 6.03 team ERA, 20th in the league out of 22 teams. That's less than ideal. Kokomo, on the other hand, 7th with a 4.14 mark. 1-2 to Donahue. Popped up on the infield to the left side. The shortstop, Adam Crampton, calls everybody off and slaps the leather on it for out number 2.
We've talked a lot about how Kokomo just seems to do everything really well. They've got a lot of solid hitters, a lot of solid starters and bullpen arms, and they play quality defense as we've seen so far in this game.
Just one error for both sides. Rivets with 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. Kokomo with 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 defensive miscue. Here's Johannes Hawkinson, righty on righty in the first pitch. He squares to bunt, pulls back, and watches a pitch inside. 1-0. Hawkinson had an RBI infield single in the second inning off the glove of the pitcher Robinson, and then grounded out to first his last time. Robinson working from the right side of the rubber, sets in a closed stance, and hurls the 1-0. Breaking ball misses low. We've seen less and less of that breaking ball in recent innings. 2-0 on Hawkinson.
Yeah, especially as your arm starts to tire, it can be harder to locate it for a strike, which is something Robinson has done really well for the first 5 innings of this game.
He delivers, and the pitch is in there. Fastball at the letters of Hawkinson. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hawkinson, the junior from Concordia, Wisconsin, brings the bat above his helmet and awaits the 2-1 pitch. It runs inside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Another breaking ball there, and Robinson did not locate it. Looks like there's action just about ready in the Jackrabbits bullpen. A right-hander. 3-1 to Johannes. Popped up on the infield and foul ground behind home plate. Ben Lavorsi is on the track and makes a basket catch to retire Hawkinson for a 1-2-3 inning. Rivets don't leave anybody, and the score remains tied 4-4. Headed to the bottom of the 6th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Rockford Rivets 4 and the first place Kokomo Jackrabbits 4. In case you're just joining us, you missed some early action. Kokomo struck first on a grand slam from Martin Vincelli Samard in the first, and the Rivets have scored each of the last 4 runs. And they still remain tied thanks to Tanner Mink, who has thrown 4 scoreless out of the bullpen. He's back out for a 5th, and the first pitch to Ryan Ellis misses high and outside to the lefty. 1 ball and no strikes. And Ethan, are you surprised to see Mink back out?
Surprised, yes, but I didn't rule it out of the realm of possibility.
1-0, laced down the right field line, hooking foul.
I expect he'll have a pretty short leash, as an arm does appear to be ready out in the Rockford bullpen. Maybe 1 runner on is the limit for Tanner Mink.
He walked the bases loaded, but stranded them with a strikeout to end the 5th. The kick in the 1-1. Breaking ball sails well too high. 2 balls, 1 strike. The lights have been flipped on at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, an all-turf surface, on a beautiful night for baseball in the heart of Indiana. The Rivets trying to come back and complete this comeback to end a 3-game losing streak. The 2-1, a fastball runs inside. Now it's 3-1. Ellis reached his last time on an error. That came back in the 4th inning. He sets at the belt and deals. Swung on and pulled foul up the right field line again. And the count is full.
And Ellis potentially keeping the night alive for Tanner Mink there. Swinging at a pitch that probably was ball 4 on the inside. And instead, as you said, filling up the count.
I don't disagree. The pitch definitely was at the inside corner generously. So Mink comes set. And here's his payoff pitch. Cued foul up the third base side. That one bounces harmlessly to the turf, so we'll have another payoff.
And it may be difficult, but if Tanner Mink can go on that inside edge for the 3rd straight pitch, it may be the final pitch that Ryan Ellis sees, as he's been very quick to bite on those pitches, but hasn't squared him up.
Here's another payoff. Popped down the left field line. Long run for everybody, and that drops fair. Ellis is rounding first. He's going to head for second. The throw is in time to get him. Brandon Bannon, the second baseman, had to dance around the bag a little bit to tag out a squirming Ellis, who tried to slide around the tag but could not do so. And that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, a huge base running blunder there for Ryan Ellis. It did seem off the bat that ball was going to fall in, but you can't try to stretch that into a double there, especially against a guy like Johannes Hawkinson, who has the arm of a center fielder and is in left field tonight. Threw a dart to Brandon Bannon. No chance for Ellis on that play.
First pitch to Adam Crampton in there for a strike. A nice curveball from Mink. It's 0-1. Rivets 4, Jackrabbits 4. Bottom of the 6th inning. Tanner Mink still clipping right along. The 0-1, grounded to shortstop. Urdaneta charges, gloves on a short hop, and throws to first, and Bushnell can't pick it. It's all the way past him in front of the Rivets bullpen. Crampton moves up to second base, and just like that, there's a runner in scoring position after all, with 1 out in the 6th.
And yes, they do have a runner in scoring position, but Ryan Ellis probably feeling pretty foolish right now for stretching his single, or attempting to stretch his single into a double.
That probably would have at least moved Ellis to third base. That'll be scored an error on Urdaneta. The throw was offline. Bushnell could not field it on a hop. So here's the top of the order in Jacob Marcy. A chance for the redshirt freshman from Central Michigan to give Kokomo the lead once again. And the first pitch misses outside, 1-0. So once again, we ask the question, how long does Tanner Mink stay in this game?
I'm not really sure here. I don't think Tanner Mink made any kind of starts at South Florida this year, only came in relief, so.
And now Mink balks as he was about to come set, as Crampton was dancing off of second base, and then he stepped off. It was an awkward move. So Crampton heads to third.
He actually had already come set there and was making his step to the plate, planted his foot back down, and then took his back foot off the mound. A very clear balk.
1-0, little jam shot over the head of Urdaneta into left, and that one bounces on the turf in front of Johannes Hawkinson. It's an RBI single for Jacob Marcy as Crampton scores easily from third base. And just like that, the Rabbits regain the lead. It's 5-4.
And while I understand this turf here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium plays pretty fast, Johannes Hawkinson is not a guy afraid to sacrifice his body for the play. And it seemed, at least from our angle, that he was within diving distance of that ball that landed in front of him.
First pitch to Gavin Grant. Fastball in the inside corner, taken for a called strike, 0-1. That's Marcy's 23rd RBI of the summer. As a leadoff hitter, that's pretty impressive. Kokomo now leads by 1. Marcy with good speed on first. In the 0-1, breaking ball misses low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. That takes a lot of wind out of the Rivets' sails, who had all the momentum in this game, especially after Mink got out of that bases loaded jam in the 5th. He hurls the 1-1. Misses down and outside, snared by Stengren. Good job by the Rockford backstop to keep that ball in front of him, and hence keeping Marcy at first.
Yeah, Drew Stengren, a guy that understands the speed that Jacob Marcy brings to the base paths. Made a huge play there to keep the double play in play.
2-1 offering misses low and outside again. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike, and I get the feeling that this may be Mink's last batter. We'll see if he can induce that double play. The set and the 3-1 pitch. Misses inside, ball 4. And here comes JT Scara, and that will be all for Tanner Mink. As he puts another runner on, I should say, 1 run in. However, it's an unearned run. So the only run that Mink gives up is unearned. However, he's now responsible for Jacob Marcy on second base and Gavin Grant on first. We'll have the details on the new pitcher, Ryan Green, after a short break. Rivets now trailing 5-4. With 1 out in the bottom of the 6th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Bottom of the 6th inning at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. 1 run in for the Jackrabbits to regain the lead. Their first lead since the Rivets tied this game in the 5th inning. 2 runners on. Tanner Mink exits, and Ryan Green, the right-hander from Concordia, Wisconsin, enters.
Ryan Green, a guy that's had a pretty rough start to this year's campaign with the Rivets, has made 4 appearances, has a 10.38 ERA.
And faces a tall task in Chase Mydroth with 2 on, and the first pitch misses down and away, 1-0.
And most of the harm done to Ryan Green's ERA has come in his last 2 outings. One of those against these Kokomo Jackrabbits, where he was unable to record an out and gave up a single run. Before that, allowing 4 runs in an inning against Kalamazoo.
His 1-0 misses outside again. Fastball a little bit closer, but still At least 2 baseballs outside of the strike zone, 2 balls and no strikes. And in that inning against Kalamazoo, he threw 10 straight balls to start the game. 2-0. Fastball misses high, 3 balls, no strikes. Jacob Marcy on second base after an RBI single. Gavin Grant on first after a walk. All Green needs is a ground ball to end this inning. However, he's got a tall task with Mydroth. The runner goes, pitch misses outside, and Jacob Marcy steals third, but no stolen bases. That's ball 4, and the bases are now loaded for TJ Fontaine.
And I would expect the Rivets bullpen to get moving pretty quickly, as the last thing you wanted to see from Ryan Green out of the pen was a 4-pitch walk.
Looks like Ross Thompson is playing some catch. I don't know if he'll come in. Green goes to the windup. First pitch to TJ Fontaine. Swinging a liner down the right field line. That one's going to get all the way to the wall. Marcy scores easily. Grant right behind him. Mydroth stops at third, and it's a screaming line drive for an RBI double for TJ Fontaine. And the Rivets now trail 7-4. That ball was smoked.
Yeah, Kevin Bushnell barely had the chance to blink as that one flew by his left ear.
The hardest hit ball we've seen all night. That includes a grand slam. I'd love to see the exit velocity on that thing. So here's Martin Vincelli-Simard looking to extend the rally. Runners on second and third. Rivets infield comes in. Righty on righty. First pitch to Vincelli-Simard. Breaking ball drops in there for a called strike 1. Kokomo hangs a 3 spot on Rockford after Tanner Mink kept him off the board for 4 innings. Green fires. Swing and a miss on another breaking ball. Quickly 0-2 on Vincelli-Simard.
Good pitch there from Ryan Green. Maybe he's found his confidence pitch. That breaking ball a bit backwards from what you see out of most pitchers, but if it can put some outs on the board, he should keep sticking with it.
We'll see if he goes back to it on 0-2. He does, and it misses downstairs. Taken by Vincelli-Simard. So it's 1-2. Vincelli-Simard now has 19 RBIs this summer and 5 home runs after belting that aforementioned grand slam in the first. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball laced into left center field. Long run for Matulia and Hawkinson, and nobody's going to get there. It bounces in for a base hit. TJ Fontaine stops at third as Mydroth scores in front of him. Vincelli-Simard raises his hands and arms at second base and shakes his hips in celebration. And Kokomo has doubled up the Rivets. It's 8-4.
Really deflating blow here for Rockford. Was hoping to get back up to the plate with the chance to take the lead. We'll still have that chance, but a lot more work to be done as right-hander A.J. Golembeski begins to throw in the Rockford pen.
First pitch misses outside to the left-hander Camden Vasquez. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Still 1 out, runners on second and third. 4 runs in here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Green misses down and outside, 2-0, and you can see the frustration building for the right-hander. He's going to try to gather himself here. Rivets need to gather themselves in general. They're going to need to pull off another 4-run comeback at the very least. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball paints the outside corner, 2-1.
Once again, going to the breaking ball, throwing it for a strike. Hopefully the Kokomo batters don't pick up on this trend, as that pitch was very hittable.
Bit of a 12-6 curveball for Green. The 2-1, he goes back to the breaking ball, misses well outside on the turf. 3-1 with first base open. All 7 batters in this Kokomo 6th have reached. 3-1. Swinging a ground ball down to Kevin Bushnell at first base. He looks back the runner at third, throws or grabs the out at first. Now he throws to second. The runner goes from third, and TJ Fontaine slides around the tag at home plate for another run. Bushnell looked Fontaine back originally, took the ball to the bag for the out, and that was out number 2. And then Martin Vincelli-Simard got caught between second and third as he thought that Fontaine was going to go. And so Bushnell threw to second, and as a result, Fontaine ran home, and the throw from third base, or second base, I should say, was not in time. Now it's 9-4.
Well played there by the Rockford defense. The one thing that came into play, Josue Ordaneda's throw back to Stengren, short hopped.
First pitch to Ben Lavorsi, chopped foul, 0-1.
And because of that short hop, the tag that Stengren applied to TJ Fontaine wasn't as clear, although I personally believe he did get him before Fontaine was able to make contact with home plate.
It's a very close play. The 0-1, a breaking ball drops in there, 0-2 on Lavorsi, who's the 9th batter of this inning. 5 runs in. Kokomo now leads 9-4. Lavorsi is 1 for 3. Felt like this game was very winnable for the Rivets, despite a tough start. The kick in the 0-2, breaking ball misses on the turf, stopped by Stengren, 1-2. This game is still winnable, but you're running out of time now.
Yeah, only 3 frames left for a team that came into this game having only scored 5 runs on this road trip. Has picked up 4 more today.
Here's the 1-2, swinging a foul back. We'll do it again. The Rivets entering today's action 6 games behind these first place Jackrabbits. Rockford trying to end a 3-game losing streak and at least gain 1 game on the Jackrabbits, trying to make up the ground they lost yesterday. Another 1-2, lined foul up the first base side. We'll have another 1-2 pitch. The last thing this Rivets team needed was a big inning. If Kokomo scored 1 or 2, I think you could have lived with that, but 5 might be a tall order.
Big innings, another common theme against the Rivets pitching staff.
1-2, a breaking ball misses on the turf again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martin Vincelli-Simard, the only base runner on at the moment. He's on third. Green gets the sign, sets at the belt, and fires the 2-2. Swung on and flied into right center field. Jake Donahue ranges over. The center fielder, Phil Matulia, takes charge and makes the play to end the inning. But Kokomo scores 5 times. And they regain a big-time lead. It's 9-4 Jackrabbits heading to the 7th inning on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 7th inning, the Rivets now trail the Kokomo Jackrabbits 9-4 after Kokomo blasts the Rivets for 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. New pitcher in the ball game for the Rabbits, it's Hunter Treese.
Hunter Treese just finished up his senior season at Mercyhurst. Has pitched 9 innings here in the Northwoods League, given up 2 runs for an ERA of 2. A lot of strikeouts this season, 12 already. Did see the Rivets once, went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run while walking 3.
First pitch misses inside to Urdaneta, but the home plate umpire Connor McKenzie says that Urdaneta held his square to bunt too long, so it's a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, a little surprised you don't appeal on that one to the first base umpire, but got to move on.
The 0-1, ground ball down to first base, gloved by Vincelli Samard as he moves towards the line. He'll take it to the bag himself for a hard hit out, number 1. Rivets trail 9-4. Top of the 7th inning, bases empty for Brandon Bannon, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. How about Ryan Robinson in his first start of the season? Looked sharp at times, other times not so much, but he didn't walk anybody. He went 6 innings, allowing 4 earned runs with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, and avoided the big inning. The big inning is always the bane of any starter's existence. And keeping the Rivets off the board for no more than 2 runs was really important here.
First pitch misses inside to Bannon, who struck out twice against Treese. He's probably happy he's out of the ball game. 1-0 misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. It all starts with base runners for the Rivets. They need to start drawing some walks. Try and tax this bullpen. The kick in the 2-0, swinging a high chopper down to third base. Gobbled up by Mydroth. He throws in time as Martin Vincelli Samard scoops it off the turf for out number 2.
Solid defense really coming into play here for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, they have showcased some good hands on this infield. Rivets trail by 5 runs in the top of the 7th. Base is empty for Kevin Bushnell. He's 0 for 3 in the leadoff spot. Treese winds and fires the first pitch. Breaking ball misses down and outside. It's 1-0.
And even the one error for the Jackrabbits was on an extremely difficult play. It actually came on an infield single.
The 1-0, breaking ball misses on the back door, 2-0. Treese working quickly, gets the sign from Lavorsi. Turns and burns the 2-0. Slapped foul. Out of play off to the right side. It's 2-1. Something that we talked about after the grand slam for Martin Vincelli Samard in the first inning, Ethan, was response for the Rivets. They responded to that with 1 run. Here, quickly 2 outs. Doesn't look like there's going to be much of a response. The 2-1, a slow chopper to second base. Gavin Grant fields and makes the routine play to first in time. Rivets go down in order. Not much of a response to Kokomo's 5 spot in the bottom of the 6th. So the score holds. Jackrabbits 9, Rivets 4. That's stretch time in Kokomo on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Kokomo Jackrabbits 9, Rockford Rivets 4. Headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. In case you're just joining us, it's been a seesaw battle. The Rivets allowed a grand slam in the bottom of the 1st inning, scored 4 straight runs to tie it in the 5th inning, but then Kokomo scored 5 times in the bottom of the 6th. They now lead it by 5. A.J. Golembeski's into the ball game for the Screws.
Yeah, A.J. Golembeski, the tall, lanky righty from Illinois Springfield, has been unfortunately consistent this year. 4 appearances, giving up 2 runs in each of them, coming together for a 14.40 ERA on the year.
First pitch to Ryan Ellis, misses down and outside. Ellis, the left-handed hitter, has 1 hit today. The kick in the 1-0, swung on a pop fly over our heads. And out of play, it's 1-1. Ellis singled to start the 6th inning, but was thrown out at second base trying to stretch that single into a double. Promising start to that inning for the Rivets, but not much else was promising. The 1-1, little flare off to the left side, out of play, 1-2. Kokomo would score 5 runs, 4 of them earned, as we were just talking about. Chasing Tanner Mink, who really had a solid outing until that 6th, going 4 1/3, surrendering 2 earned runs, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts. The 1-2 misses low to Ellis, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Shot foul again. Good battle from Ellis. Still 2-2.
And a good first batter for Golembeski. As I said, has struggled a bit. 3 1-inning appearances and a 2-inning appearance. Has been hit a lot in those appearances as well.
The wind in another 2-2. Pitch misses low. Golembeski thought it was strike 3. He turns his back to home plate umpire Connor McKenzie before retrieving the baseball from the catcher Drew Stengren. So the count is full on Ellis. Golembeski nods at Stengren and comes home. That pitch is slapped foul down the left field line, out of play. We'll do it again. The lights are now all the way on here in Kokomo. Golembeski shakes off Stengren and now fires another 3-2 pitch, and it misses inside. And that's leadoff walk to Ryan Ellis to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Kokomo leads the Rivets 9-4. Brings up the 9 batter Adam Crampton. Crampton reached and scored on an error in the 6th. He's 0 for 3. Frustrating first batter for Golembeski. Looked like he was going to have Ellis, but now he needs to shake it. He sets at the belt, steps off, and throws to check on Ellis.
One thing these Jackrabbits batters have shown is that they do not go down easy. I mean, we've seen a number of 7 or 8 pitch at-bats with 3 or 4 foul balls. Really makes it hard on an opposing pitcher.
Next pitch, swinging a line drive down the left field line, right field line that is, and it's fair all the way into the corner. Ryan Ellis is going to get the wave around third base. He's going to try to score from third base. The throw is not in time. He scores all the way from first base. Brandon Bannon had a great relay throw. Drew Stengren fielded the throw. Ellis slid by him. Stengren missed the tag, but Ellis missed home plate and then reached out and slapped it as Stengren had his back turned, and it's now 10-4.
Yeah, a bit of confusion there. Stengren clearly looking out to second base to try and ensure no further movement from Crampton, but probably beating himself up over that play.
First pitch to Jacob Marcy, the left-handed batter. Misses outside, 1-0. So Golembeski's struggles continue. Jacob Marcy had an RBI single last inning. He's reached and scored twice. The kick and the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. So Ethan, after the offense was the problem for 2 consecutive nights, Tonight, it's the pitching.
Yeah, pretty familiar sequence here for the Rivets, a little more on brand.
The 1-1 is flared in the air into shallow left field. Johannes Hawkinson loses his cap and makes the grab near the line. That's out number 1. Kokomo leads 10-4 now, scoring 5 runs last inning, 1 so far here with Crampton on second base. And here's Gavin Grant. And Ethan, frankly, this is dejecting for us to watch in the booth. I mean, how do you think it feels for them down there?
It's I can only describe it as like gray. I just feel gray watching these games.
First pitch, ground ball up the middle past the diving Brandon Bannon into center field. Crampton rounds third. The throw to the plate is well over Drew Stengren's head behind the plate. Grant's going to try for third, and he's going to make it all the way there. Now he's going to go home as nobody's covering, and it's a Little League home run. Gavin Grant rounds the bases on a single to center field. It's now 12-4.
You can only give credit to Gavin Grant there. Really strong awareness on the base paths. The only body within 50 feet of home plate was the umpire. Connor McKenzie obviously not going to help the Rivets make that play there.
A complete and utter implosion for the Rockford Rivets as Chase Mydroth climbs in and watches the first pitch down and in, 1-0. As gray is turned a little bit darker. The 1-0 is in there for a called strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Almost as gray as the Rivets' very dark gray traveling uniforms with gold lettering and black caps. Golembeski back to the windup here. Has the sign from Stengren, and I suppose he doesn't, as Drew's going to come out for a chat with AJ. Probably trying to settle him down. As you can read the body language from Golembeski, he is very frustrated.
And you can see it all around the diamond for the Rivets, just kind of in shock at the collapse that we've witnessed over the past 2 innings. Even Philip Matulia, the team's all-star, contributing a good bit to that previous play.
Golembeski winds and delivers the 1-1. Breaking ball misses low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Still just 1 out. Here in this bottom of the 7th inning. 3 runs in, base is empty. Mydroth has walked 3 times tonight. The kick and the 2-1 misses low. He's on pace for a 4th walk, in addition to 1 single. Mydroth, a guy that simply does not strike out. He's only struck out once in the month of July, and he draws his 4th walk of the night as Golembeski misses low and outside. So just like that, another runner reaches. Chase Mydroth is 1 for 1 with 4 walks. 12-4 Kokomo. Here's TJ Fontaine, who had a 2 RBI double last inning.
Do you think the Northwoods League looks at a stat line like that and says, player of the night?
Probably not. I don't know.
If Billy Bean's up there.
Does he get on base? Check. First pitch to the lefty Fontaine, big hack and a miss. He was thinking right field berm with that hack. It's 0-1. Fontaine, a bit of an all-or-nothing guy. We saw that screaming line drive down the right field line for his double in the 6th. Probably trying to recreate that. Here's the 0-1 from Golembeski. Liner down the right field line. This one's going to hook foul. Rivets can exhale for now as it's 0-2. Kokomo faithful certainly enjoying this one. Good Tuesday night crowd on hand in central Indiana. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a tapper down to first base. Bushnell steps on the bag for one. The throw down to second is not in time. Mydroth slides in safely. Urdaneta gives a look at the umpire, Matthew Metcalf, as if to say Mydroth came off the bag. He did not. That's a 3 unassisted for out number 2. Runner on second base for Martin Vincelli-Simard in a 12-4 ball game in favor of the Jackrabbits.
I expect a few big hacks here from Vincelli-Simard. Knows that at this point, at least, this game is out of reach for Rockford. Might as well try to have a multi-homer night.
Righty on righty. Vincelli-Simard belted a grand slam back in the first, and he sends a little jam shot flare to Josue Urdaneta at shortstop, who scrambles in to make the play and spikes the ball on the turf in frustration. Lands it perfectly right behind the rubber. Perhaps the only positive for the Rivets that inning. 3 runs come in to score, including a Little League home run by Gavin Grant on a single to center field. Our new score, Kokomo 12, Rivets 4. Headed to the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning in Kokomo. Kokomo's not been kind to the Rivets tonight. Rivets trail 12-4. This game was once tied at 4. The Rivets have imploded the last 2 innings, surrendering 5 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. They'll look to come back against Hunter Tree, starting with Phil Matulia, and the first pitch to him is cut on and missed 0-1. Matulia has 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. The last came in the 5th. Shamar Page scored him twice on RBI singles. The kick in the 0-1. Pitch misses down and away, 1-1. And back then, Ethan, it looked like the Rivets were certainly in this ball game. They tied the game in the 5th. At that point, all the momentum was in favor of Rockford. The wind in the 1-1 misses inside, 2-1.
Yeah, really exciting start for the Rivets. Or not an exciting start, but an exciting few innings there for the Rivets to tie it up, be it 4, and they definitely felt like this was their game to win. And it just kind of fell apart after that. 2 ugly innings, and this one's very far out of reach.
2-1 misses down and in, 3 balls and 1 strike on Phil Matulia. Rivets have lost 3 straight, all 3 games of this road trip. Looking like it's soon going to be 4. Here's the 3-1, line drive up the middle into center field for a leadoff single for Phil Matulia to start the top of the 8th inning. It's a 3-hit day for the Rivets All-Star. He's in form, at least on the hitting side.
Yeah, a couple good individual stat lines to take away from this game, but the box score up on the scoreboard, not as pleasant.
Rivets trail 12-4. First pitch to the lefty, Shamar Page. in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Page has 2 RBI singles tonight, scoring Matulia both times. Rivets with 1 run in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth. 0-1. Big hack and a miss from Page, 0-2. The Rivets thankfully will have a day off tomorrow, as will the entire Northwoods League. The Rivets are going to be next in action at home on Thursday against the Kalamazoo Growlers, while Kokomo will take on the Battle Creek Bombers in Michigan. 0-2 to Page, lifted foul down the third base line. Long run for the third baseman in Mydroth, and he watches it bounce into the pen. Still 0-2. And Ethan, if the Rivets were able to win this game tonight, it would have felt like at least a glimmer of hope. Would have put them 5 runs or 5 games back of these first place Jackrabbits, playing 8 of the next 10 games against teams under 500. That's favorable, but now the Rivets look like they're going to go winless on this 4-game road stretch, which was so critical. Another 0-2, misses low, 1-2.
And the Rivets knew coming in how impactful these games could be on the standings in their favor, should they move from 5 games back to 3 games back. But, of course, it's equally as important for Kokomo to win these games and kind of make it a 3-horse race, or even 2-horse race if you don't include the Pit Spitters, the league's first half champion.
1-2 is cut on and missed on a breaking ball in the dirt. Page is out, as the drop third strike rule is not in effect with Matulia on first base, but the ball kicks away from Lavorsi, so Matulia moves into scoring position. That's second. That's out number 1 here in the 8th. Rivets trail by 8, and here's Drew Stengren. First strikeout for Hunter Treese. First arm out of the bullpen for manager Hayden Carter. Final game of the season series between Rockford and Kokomo. Rivets' final chance at the first place Rabbits. First pitch to Stengren misses, or it looked like it missed down and outside, quite frankly, but it's a called strike 1, 0-1.
Yeah, Rivets probably happy to not have to face the Jackrabbits again this year, a team that recently has owned them.
The 0-1, a big hack and a miss on a fastball, quickly 0-2. Kokomo's won all but 1 game here at Kokomo Municipal against the Rivets. Looks like they're going to win 3 straight to wrap up the season series. Here comes the 0-2 from Hunter Treese. A little flare right at the first baseman, Martin Vincelli Samard, who makes the grab for out number 2. Matulia remains on second base. Rivets will need a massive comeback. Perhaps it starts with Wade Elliott. The sophomore from Louisiana Tech has 2 hits today. A single in the second, an RBI double in the third inning, and he flied out his last time. Righty on righty, the first pitch from Hunter Treese. Zipped in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Treese lets the right arm hang, gets the sign from the catcher Lavorsi, and delivers. Breaking ball fouled off, it's 0-2. Well, a lot of Rivets have made some subpar plays in the infield today, but at least they're not Tommy John, as on this date in 1988, he became the first pitcher to commit 3 errors on 1 play. He bobbled a grounder and then recovered it and threw the ball down the right field line. But wait, there's more. Here's the 0-2. Misses outside, 1-2. And then John tried to relay the throw to the plate from the outfield and threw it away, allowing 2 runs to score. Can you imagine watching that play?
No, that sounds like a pretty rough 45 seconds.
The 1-2, chopper back to the mound. It bounces over Treese, the shortstop, Crampton fields and throws in time to get a hustling Wade Elliott and end the inning. Rivets strand Phil Matulia on second base after a leadoff single. And the score holds. Kokomo 12, Rivets 4. Headed to the bottom of the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Kokomo Jackrabbits 12 and the Rockford Rivets 4, heading to the bottom of the 8th in a dreadful game for the Rivets. It was once tied at 4 back in the 5th inning, but that was a long time ago. Jackrabbits scoring 5 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. New pitcher into the ball game, usually a guy you see in high leverage situations. It's Tucker Shalley, and he'll face Camden Vasquez, Ben Lavorsi, and Ryan Ellis here in this inning. The first pitch to Vasquez, slapped down the left field line. Foul. Tell us about Mr. Shalley.
Yeah, Tucker Shalley coming in here, his first appearance in a week, his first appearance for the Rivets in 9 days, as he did throw an inning in the All-Star game. The team leader in ERA at .50. That's 18 innings and only one earned run this year. Also comes with 24 strikeouts.
Here's the 0-1, and Vasquez is behind again, slapping it well out of the stadium, down the third base side, 0-2. Shalley's one earned run, though, against these Jackrabbits. And another dreadful loss for the Rivets against Kokomo. 11-7, the game before the All-Star break. So it must be something about the Rivets on games before days off against Kokomo. Here's the 0-2 from Shalley. Ground ball to shortstop, fielded by Urdaneta. The throw is in time. Close play at first, but Urdaneta gets him. That's the first out of the bottom of the 8th. The Rivets trail by 8. And it's probably good for Shalley in a way to come in a low leverage situation to try and get his footing again.
Yeah, his last 2 times out, the All-Star game and that aforementioned game against the Jackrabbits, he's given up 4 runs combined, 2 of them earned. Gave up what was a bomb in the All-Star game, probably trying to forget that and get back to the Tucker Shalley we saw in late innings for Rockford all season.
First pitch to Ben Lavorsi is cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Lavorsi's 1 for 4 tonight with a single back in the first. Nobody tossing in the Rivets bullpen except some fellas with a football. The kick in, the 0-1. Fastball misses high and outside, 1-1. Looks like Brendan Lowry and maybe Joaquin Monque.
Yep.
Got to get your exercise in before the long bus ride home tonight. Rivets are going to book it out of here back to Rockford before the day off. Tucker Shalley sets at the letters. Goes into a pronounced leg kick and delivers the 1-1. Line drive into center field. Phil Matulia loses it under the lights and it bounces in front of him. Here comes Lavorsi to second. The throw is in time to get him. Nice recovery by Phil. Immediately, he lost it in the lights. He threw his hands up in the air, started taking some steps in, then he watched it bounce and fired a strike to Brandon Bannon at second base for out number 2.
Yeah, the lights here at KMS are not too high, so a fly ball hit well like that one was can be hard to find off the break. Also, the location of the press box may have come into play with that being hit dead center.
First pitch to Ryan Ellis misses downstairs, 1-1, 1-0.
But we see another base running mistake from the Jackrabbits, getting a little greedy in a game that they've all but locked up.
The Rivets' last chance will be represented by Jake Donahue, Johannes Hawkinson, and Josue Urdaneta in the 9th. The 1-0 is in there for a called strike on the outside corner, 1-1 on Ryan Ellis. With the day off coming up tomorrow, Ethan, I pose to you the question, what will you do with your day off?
If I'm being honest, I don't know yet. Probably watch the Cubs game, which for me is the Reds game.
1-1, cut on and missed, 1-2. I will be at the Cubs game. I'm sure you feel great about the Cubs and Reds series so far.
Sure has been exciting. Wasn't a huge fan personally of yesterday's ending.
1-2, little flare into foul territory down the third base line. Wade Elliott tries to glove it with a basket catch and can't make the play. And a fan lets him know by waving his arms back and forth, signaling safe, as if Wade Elliott didn't know. Still 1-2.
And as we talk about matchups between some of our teams, we definitely need to look to the basketball tournament.
Yes, sir. The TBT, as it's more popularly known as. Always a Brave and Bayheim's Army matching up in Peoria tomorrow night. Of course, Always a Brave, the alumni team of Bradley University, my school, and your favorite school, Syracuse. Bayheim's Army, they're going to square off. The 1-2 foul back. We'll do it again.
Yes, my mother, a proud Syracuse alumni, class of 92, I believe, and my dad, a lifelong Syracuse resident. I say lifelong, but actually he lived there for the first 20-some years of his life before moving down to Maryland.
Shalley fires another 1-2. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Stengren, and that ends the inning. Perhaps more basketball talk coming up after a break. Probably don't want to talk too much more about the Rivets tonight as they are trailing 12-4, headed to the 9th. Last chance for the Screws coming up after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Top of the 9th inning, last chance for the Rockford Rivets to end their 3-game losing streak before it hits 4 as they trail the Kokomo Jackrabbits 12-4. It'll be Jake Donahue, Johannes Hawkinson, and Josue Urdaneta up against Hunter Treese out for his 3rd inning of relief work. In case you're just joining us, well, first of all, thank you. Second of all, maybe you've joined us at an inopportune time. This game was close once upon a time. It was tied at 4 in the 5th inning. The Rivets coming back after allowing a first-inning grand slam to Martin Vincelli-Samard. But after the game was tied, Kokomo promptly untied it with 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and then added insult to injury with 3 runs in the 7th. A tough outing for Rockford to wrap up this, what was once critical, 4-game road trip. Righty on righty, and the first pitch to Donahue. Misses low, 1-0. Before the inning, it looked like a fan tossed a baseball or something onto the field. So the right fielder, Jacob Marcy, had to trot over and retrieve it. Here's the 1-0. Misses outside, 2-0.
We've seen a number of items thrown onto the field these past 4 days. Gloves, baseballs. And I haven't gotten to talk about what I'll talk about after this next pitch.
I think I know what's coming. The kick and the 2-0. Misses low, 3-0.
The third item thrown on the field, or in the bullpen that is a number of quarters. The Rivets bullpen has set up a cup with a note that says, "Get a quarter in the cup, win a baseball."
3-0 misses low. It's a 4-pitch walk to Jake Donahue to start the 9th. The Rivets trailing 12-4. That's not what I thought was coming.
Yeah, kind of expedites the system with the kids that like to hang over the fence and harass the pitchers for a souvenir.
How about that? Or if it's making a quick buck. You know how many quarters they've gotten?
I think Game 2 in Traverse City alone, they picked up $9.
$9 worth of quarters? First pitch to Johannes Hawkinson is in for a called strike, 0-1. Holy cow.
I haven't heard a count from either of these 2 games in Kokomo.
One cut on and missed on a fastball outside, 0-2. Wow.
What were you expecting?
Something like maybe $1 per game. Maybe like 4 or 5 quarters.
I meant what were you expecting was thrown on the field.
And the 0-2 is swung on and missed by Hawkinson. That's 1 out. Rivets trailing by 8. Thought you were going to bring up the time that a fan ran on the field in Kenosha. Were you there for that?
No, I wasn't. I came back the next day, but I did not get to see the fan on the field in Kenosha.
That's a shame. It was really a sight to see. I mean, this guy made the most of his moment of glory. Sprinted from the right field seating area, ran all the way around Cam McDonald in right field, all the way to center. First pitch to Josue Urdaneta in there for a called strike, 0-1. Josue's 0 for 3. But he ran all the way out to center field, ran a lap around Tyler Hawkins, was kind of just screaming and yelling. Ran all the way back, and nothing happened. The 0-1 is fouled off to the right side, 0-2.
I'm assuming he was removed from the stadium afterwards, though. Do you
No.
know?
No, because he ran and hopped the fence down by the Rivets bullpen. Nobody went down there to get him. And then one of his buddies hopped on the field and danced in fair territory as a pitch was being thrown. The 0-2 is foul tipped into the glove of Ben Lavorsi for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Rivets here in the top of the 9th as Jake Donahue remains on first base. And here is Brandon Bannon representing the Rivets' last chance, trailing by 8.
Do you think it was scripted? Do you think
the
fan was supposed to run on the field?
No, it was not, believe it or not, because we've seen all sorts of crazy stuff like that in the Northwoods League. It was not. First pitch to Bannon, misses outside, 1-0. And I know because of the folks in the press box, they were scrambling. I mean, somebody's on the walkie like, oh, is somebody going to get that fan? No, nobody did. And I was astounded. The 1-0 gets away from Lavorsi low and away, and Donahue trots on down to second base. Rivets have a runner in scoring position.
haven't seen that in Rockford yet. No
No.
fans on the field there.
And usually, of course, you see the notorious videos of fans running on the field at Major League stadiums, dancing around security guards before inevitably being smothered.
Yeah, just recently there was a fan at the White Sox game, I believe.
Yes. I think we're thinking of the same video.
Yeah, throwing jukes left and right.
2-0 is swung on and missed 2-1. That was after the game was completed. That guaranteed rate field. That guy, I mean, he was running around for a solid 2 minutes. Quite remarkable. Hunter Tree sets and throws the 2-1. Swung on and popped up to the right side of the infield. This could do it. Vincelli Samard in foul ground makes the grab, and the ball game is over. First place Kokomo Jackrabbits show the Rivets why they're in first place. Sweeping the Screws in 2 games, and the Rivets have now lost 4 straight. The final is 12-4. We'll be back to wrap it up after this on the Rockford Rivets Baseball Network. Welcome back to Kokomo. The final lines in this one. First for the victorious Kokomo Jackrabbits. 12 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, 8 runners left on base. For the Rivets, 4 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors, and 5 left. The pitchers of record in this ball game, Ryan Robinson picks up a win in his first start of the summer. He went 6 innings, allowing 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. The loser is Tanner Mink. He went 4 1/3 out of the bullpen, surrendered 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, that would be 3 runs total, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts on 92 pitches after Jared Herzog only went 1 inning, allowing 4 runs in the first inning. Hunter Treese gets the blowout save. He went 3 innings, so as a result, he gets the save, one of the more quirky rules in baseball. The Rivets and Rabbits wrapping this one up in 2 hours and 54 minutes in front of a crowd of 800 and, let's say 63. Guessing game here. And this is the last game of the summer between the Rivets and Jackrabbits. Kokomo takes the season series 8-4, winning 3 straight over the Rivets, and really showing why they're in first place.
This was a pretty unfortunate reflection of the past week for the Rivets. Minimal offense, it came at a good time, got them a little more in the game than they have been recently, but not enough to combat rough pitching down the stretch. Lots of walks, lots of timely hits from Kokomo, untimely for the Rivets pitchers. Just really tough game to watch here. Unfortunate loss.
In case you're just joining us for the recap, the Rivets allowed a grand slam to Martin Vincelli Samard in the first inning, but scored the next 4 runs of the game and tied it in the 5th inning on an RBI single by Shamar Page. But then the wheels fell off the wagon in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5 runs coming in to score, and then 3 runs came in the bottom of the 7th to put it away. The Rivets fall to 7-13 here in the second half, while Kokomo improves to 14-6, maintaining their first place position and putting more space in between them and the Rivets, who fall 7 games out of first place. And the Rivets finish the road trip 0-4, another 4-game losing streak for them. Ethan Blake, any final thoughts?
Not much to say here. I mean, the Rivets have clearly shown that they are a much better team at home. Hopefully can take the off day, kind of hone their skills, regather, just take a break from baseball, though, and pick up a couple wins against Kalamazoo, a team that they've performed extremely well at home against, 4-0.
Well, good news for you Rivets fans tuned in. The Rivets will play 8 of their next 10 games against teams under 500. So the door is open for some wins for the Rockford Rivets, but now it's just a matter of getting the job done, and the Rivets have done a pretty poor job of that as of late. They lose their 4th straight tonight, 12-4 to the Kokomo Jackrabbits. And that does it here from the Crossroads of America. So for my partner Ethan Blake, this is Larry Larson saying thank you for joining us, and thanks to Ethan Blake for joining me on this road trip for all 4 games. Always good to talk to somebody else for 4 hours a night rather than just talk to yourself. So it was fun.
Yeah, I had a great time. A couple of good ballparks here. I've been to Traverse City, but never seen the place here in Kokomo. Really great facility we've got in the Northwoods League, and I had a good time.
That's all you can ask for. Fun times at the ballpark despite a few tough losses. Again, the final, Kokomo defeats Rockford 12-4. This is Larry Larson and Ethan Blake saying so long and good night from Kokomo. We'll talk to you on Thursday.